every one of you listening to my voice.
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid.
What was that?
I have never seen anything like this before.
What unearthly horror did that girl gaze upon?
Those people were killed by something.
Welcome back to First Feature. I am your host, James Hewitt, and I am once again joined by my co-host.
It's me. I'm always watching, James. It's Rhys Strang.
Today we are trapped in the back rooms, but fear not, for we are here with our mics, recording this podcast for the world to listen.
So we've got our classic setup of a very nice mahogany table, 2 MacBooks, 2 microphones, and a bunch of DVDs. But weirdly, they're all stuck together. We kind of just found them in this room, and we're like, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Seems like it was purposely built for us, James.
I'm happy here, Rhys. I'm in a better place.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever leaving the back rooms.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
What are we gonna eat?
Human.
Backrooms.
Yes.
Directed by Kane Parsons.
Kane Parsons, written by Will Sudik, and cinematography by Jeremy Cox.
I found something.
Okay. Did you find?
Found a place. It's massive in there. It just goes on and on and on. All these rooms. This place built, though. Actually, more like it remembers them. And the more times it remembers something, the less it does.
This is Kane Parsons' first directorial feature at the age of 20.
That fuck.
Pretty crazy. Where did you watch this?
Where did I watch it? We've not recorded in a while.
We have not.
And so I watched this. Let me see when I watched this. I watched this the 29th of May, and I watched this at Silkyotta, Takanini.
You watched this at Takanini.
So I watched this almost 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
Yeah, I watched this at the Alice in Christchurch while I was on holiday. Great environment to watch it in.
A weird backroom sort of place in a way. It is spooky because if you don't know, the Alice is a DVD rental store and cinema. So it's really odd to have, like a Video Easy sort of setup, and then there's just cinemas attached.
It's really interesting because you'll be browsing in the horror section. You look over to your left, and there's Grandma sitting down, sipping a tea, and she's walking into the other room to watch the Christophers, and I'm going into the other cinema to watch the Backrooms.
It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. Great place though. Love the Alice.
Great place. Staff are lovely. Some granddad brought his 7-year-old son to this movie. That was a choice.
Okay, that's a bad choice. I can very confidently say that's a bad choice.
They left during the dinner, or the backrooms.
Right, the dinner scene at the end.
Yeah. And understandably, I was like, I would have left too if I was them.
Yes,
but I don't think they should have come at all.
Yeah, definitely. What the fuck is he thinking?
No. Did you have a packed screening?
No, I had one dude sitting next to me. 5 seats across.
That's surprising. I
watched for the most part, most of the movies I watch in midday.
Yeah,
because
so
my
I guess that makes sense,
my work is all hours of the day, so I mostly watch movies like Thursday at 1 p.m.
The only guy in there.
I love it. It's so good.
I went on a public holiday and every cinema was packed that
That's
day.
great. That's awesome.
Every cinema.
I don't know if this is the best movie to watch with a lot of people. What do you think?
I don't think so.
No.
It's just, I think I would feel maybe this is just me being slightly on the spectrum, but being close to other people,
Yeah.
watching such an uncomfortable liminal space movie is
Hmm.
just it just doesn't feel right in my skin.
What is your history with the Backrooms, James?
I don't. I
You're
honestly,
not an internet
I'm
guy.
not an internet guy. I think I was introduced to the Backrooms probably two years ago, I want to say.
That's around when it started. I
Yeah.
think it started around I think 3 years ago.
I only ran into it though when people were starting to do like VFX breakdowns of how they
Right.
created their versions of the Backrooms.
Did Corridor Crew do a breakdown?
They did that too, yeah.
And Dead
yeah.
Meat
Yeah.
talked about it a bit. Basically when the mainstream of film internet people started talking about it
Yeah.
was when you latched onto it.
When did you latch onto it?
I was into it from the start.
La-dee-da, he's on the ground floor. He took the photo, guys.
No, mostly TikTok
Mhm.
at the time, or YouTube. I think I watched the Kane Parsons video around when it first came out. I didn't really watch any others. I wasn't into it. I liked the idea, and I liked short form versions of the story
Mhm.
because I knew what it would eventually turn into, and it did turn into, which was
pretty fast.
every single time there is an internet horror, there is a weird 4 stages of it. 4 that I can just think of at the top of my head. The one being a spooky little drop of something interesting, right? Like Slender Man, or Five Nights at Freddy's, or the SCP Foundation, where it's just these little ideas that are creepy and interesting and get people talking. And then once that ball starts to go, people start making stuff. And that second set, the second phase, is probably where all the great stuff comes. It's where the Kane Parsons come into it, and game theory does their theories and stuff. That's really where you get the bulk of it. And then you get to this third stage where it kind of starts eating itself, and the inevitability always, and it's normally at the end of phase 2, is that you have this very core, simple, creepy idea, and they need to expand on it in order to keep working on it. And so in doing that, they just make it bigger and make it about spooky scientists.
But for me,
Every time.
every time
They do this. They did this with Five Nights at Freddy's, with the Afton Foundation. They did this with the SCP Foundation, and they did it with the Backrooms. That they make it about something very simple, and then there's a spooky organization that's always watching, and it's bigger and bigger, and more characters and more locations and more, and inevitable, it becomes boring as shit.
More is not better in most of these cases. And the unfortunate thing is Backrooms is Kane Parsons' identity. He's never escaping that. If he it doesn't matter what he makes, that's his identity. That's what people know him for. Not I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about one piece of one idea being my whole identity. I don't know.
Well, that's where you get into the 4th section of it just becomes this medley of ideas of artists like Kane Parsons trying to do other things, and then the fandom itself kind of just eating itself, and it becomes too mainstream, and like your mum starts to know what it is. Like when your mum knows what Five Nights at Freddy is, you're fucked. You're done. You're cooked.
You're cooked, mate.
Once like Netflix wants to do a fucking mini series on it, you're done. That's it. It's over.
Once your grandma's scrolling on Facebook and she knows what the Backrooms is, you're cooked.
Yeah, once McDonald's starts doing Backrooms ads, you're cooked. You're cooked. Kane Parsons, so
should we do a little background on Kane Parsons?
I feel like we're jumping around all the place, but let's start with Kane.
Let's jump on Kane Parsons. Kane A. Parsons, better known as Kane Pixels Online, is a 20-year-old American director, visual effects artist, and musician. He did actually co-compose the music for Backrooms, which is pretty cool. He is from Northern California, and he's most, of course, recognized for his Backroom web series on YouTube, one of the most famous iterations of the creepypasta. In 2015, Kane started his YouTube channel, posting over 400 videos between then and 2020, most of which were set to private. I mean, if you're going through the Backrooms series, a lot of them are just private, and that's what's so cool about it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Kane would start experimenting with 3D software Blender. At some time between then and 2021, Kane came across screenshots of the original Backrooms image from 4chan. The first Backrooms short posted in 2022 is just over 9 minutes in length and immediately went viral. Kane would subsequently go on to post 21 more web episodes, the last of which was posted in 2025. The series would garner millions of views, and over the years, not long after the first Backrooms episode went viral, Deadline posted an article revealing that A24 was in talks with Kane to develop Backrooms into a feature. This was put on hold for a while, likely due to Parsons still being in high school. During 2025, it was announced the film was back in development and set to begin filming in Vancouver, Canada on July 7th, 2025. And it's, of course, released now, and it's probably almost top 5 box office, is it? It's
the highest
high up
grossing
there.
A24.
Yeah, highest grossing
beat
A24.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Pretty handily.
I think its opening box office
was
beat
about
Civil
150.
War. Yeah.
It's sitting at about 300 right now. Civil War, I think, in total only got 120 million worldwide,
which is still pretty crazy. That's still a huge box office.
Well, yeah, but I think Civil War costed that much money. Let me see.
How much was Civil War? Was the budget for Backrooms was around 10 million.
Yeah, so oh my god, I nailed it. 127 million.
127, shit.
Oh fuck, I'm too good.
Oh my god.
Man, I hate that they don't put down budgets anymore. I don't know why they don't.
This is a Civil War?
Yeah, for Civil War. 50 million, yeah.
50 million, yeah.
It was pretty decent for Civil War, but the Backrooms just crushed it. And it seemed like, because it released 1 week after Obsession, that it was just going to eat Obsession. It made, I think it made more money in its first weekend than Obsession had in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But now, I think Obsession has kind of eclipsed it. Obsession's still number 2.
Obsession's almost at 300 million.
Yeah, and I think the Backrooms is at 280.
Yeah, Backrooms is sitting right now at
260.
Yeah, 260.
Which is crazy that Obsession, every day that goes by, I love Obsession more.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty critical about it in our episode. I don't think any of what we said was unjustified.
It's critical, but I
think we're fairly critical about it, but I think the more you move on from a film, stuff gets softer, and things get better and things get worse.
Especially when you're caught in a wave.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty... but we do this a lot, you know, we get pretty critical about a movie, but at the end, we're like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, you know? I think we were totally fair with our criticism, but I think they still stand, but I think the movie's great, and it is the worst part of the Backrooms, the tragedy of the Backrooms, that are released 1 week after a really great film like Obsession.
I think in your review you put this would have been better if it hadn't come
if I hadn't seen Obsession. Because this eats a Backrooms lunch. It fucking whips it in the dick.
I hated that I read your review because I went in thinking, oh, kidding me? Why did I read Rhys's review?
Because it
does.
One
line just
it does. It
killed me.
It just fucking destroys it.
It does.
Okay, do we want to get
into some notes now, or do like some lore on the Backrooms later, or
I think we can just get straight into the story of the Backrooms and we can explore that while we're talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Backrooms starts with Clark
Yes.
going to his store. Oh no,
No,
doesn't.
no,
It
it's not.
starts
Let
with
me. I've got it right here,
James
Rhys.
has it.
I
I
got it
haven't
right
watched it in
here.
3 weeks.
Now,
James.
I haven't watched it in 3 weeks. I basically had to use what I remembered and also take what other people had.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to gloss over so much shit. But so we open with a scientist who is separated from his group and becomes lost in excuse me, extra-dimensional space known as the Backrooms. While attempting to call for rescue, he is chased and attacked by an unseen entity. It then cuts to black, revealing that it was recovered footage being watched by async scientists on a monitor. How'd you feel about the opening?
It was fine. It was just a copy of the original Kane
original
Parsons.
series.
It's I was watching it and I don't know. I was like, yeah, okay, I know what this is. This is, cold open. I know what's going to happen. I know what I'm going to see. And it was kind of just a recreation of the original Kane Parsons video. It was good. It was fine.
I really liked it. I really
Mhm.
liked it. I thought it was eerie. It was lots of dread. I liked it because it is just the original Backrooms.
Yeah.
I really like the series, and this is just that. But after the scene, everything else after it, I was like, "Ugh, okay."
I have to say, the scariest and best parts of this movie are the Kane Parsons VHS stuff.
Yes.
Everything that's not in that realm of VHS is not scary, is interesting, but not that engaging. You don't agree?
I felt like I could beat the Backrooms.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't feel that deep. I don't know. I was watching it, and for the most part, I'm like, oh yeah, you take a left and you're fine. Take a left and a
take
right.
a right, and
Yeah,
I know
you'll be
where
back at Albuquerque.
I know where you can enter. Yeah,
Are you scared of liminal spaces, James?
I'm not so much scared of liminal spaces. I mean, it gives me. No. Honestly, no. I'm not scared of liminal spaces. Are you?
I'm not scared of liminal spaces.
Because liminal spaces are essentially a space existing within a transitional moment, in between time.
I love liminal spaces. I love them a lot, and they give me a real thrill. But I'm not scared of them. They comfort me more than scare me. I think it's just the calmness, the weird, creepy calmness they bring me. That was my big question coming into this movie, and I think the big problem with the movie is that it's about liminal spaces, and that's a bad idea for a movie. You can't put a regular film structure onto the structure of liminal space. It's a bad idea.
Well, that's the problem. There's no structure here. It's what I felt. I was looking at some other liminal space movies.
The greatest liminal space movie is Skinamarink.
I was going to say there's Skinamarink.
Skinamarink, which is the scariest movie I've ever seen. Every time I watch it, I cry in fear. That is such a scary movie. But you can't do Skinamarink. You can't put out Skinamarink and expect it to be $300 million worldwide. It's not going to work. And I don't think Kane Parsons wanted to make that movie. And I don't think he could make that movie. And so... But that's really the only way you could do this.
Because the beauty of Skinamarink is that it's the movie you watch on your laptop. And that's the good thing. That's the thing I love about Backrooms. It's better as the series that you find deeply buried in YouTube. That's what's scary about it.
Yeah, to watch it in a big theater and to have these big actors in there is not scary.
When you're sitting in the middle of a theater with surround sound and this deeply immersive soundscape is cool, but it doesn't lend itself to this idea. I just don't think it works. But yeah, other liminal space movies. I was thinking of
The Blair Witch in a way is one, but again, that's just such a different structure to put a regular film plot and is just not gonna work.
No.
It's not gonna work.
Zone of interest in some ways. It's like The Shining.
What the fuck zone of interest? That's a weird one to choose.
Yeah, The Shining, Cube, Vivarium, Exit 8 I just watched recently.
Yeah, but none of those have just a regular structure. They're all very what would you call avant-garde.
Yeah.
David Lynch is a great one.
Untraditional structures, yeah.
You can't have a regular, character makes a character arcs in these. It's stupid. Why would he make a movie about midlife crises?
He's
okay. We're jumping around too much. We actually got to go plot by plot with this.
Yeah. So after we've cut to black, we then cut to Mary. She is watching as her family home is being demolished. We're then introduced to Clark, a failed architect who is the owner of a struggling furniture store, attempting to cope with his alcoholism and crumbling marriage. He has a session with her full name is Mary Klein, and they're working through his trauma, and they essentially act out a scene, I guess, an interaction between him and his ex-wife, and he just explodes.
I think it's Chiwetel Ejiofor is great in this movie. The character of Clark is terrible. It's a really fucking boring character. This whole scene, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like something. I don't feel that Kane Parsons knows what he's talking about.
Well, he's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a question I've heard from a bunch of reviewers is Kane Parsons is making a movie about middle-aged people and he's so young, and yet Obsession is a young person making a movie about young people. This movie is for young people like us. It's made by young people. Why isn't it about young people?
Well, that's my problem, is watching this, I thought the web series, again, to go back to that, is so great because it's kids filming with a camera and one of them falls into the back rooms. And if that's what's so scary, is that it could happen to me. I mean, if I was a kid, it could happen to me. But this is just, like 40-year-old guys, and I'm like, well, this is unrelatable to me. I guess again, this world also feels so unnatural.
That was a weird thing. I liked it that the world feels so weird and unnerving. I think a bunch of the sky was replaced.
Yeah.
But then it makes it so that the Backrooms isn't that weird in comparison. Because the world is so weird and the characters are so weird. So when they get into the Backrooms, it doesn't feel that weird.
Because the whole aesthetic feels just like a 90s liminal environment. Even when you're in a parking lot, it feels very liminal, you know?
The film, is set in the 90s, right?
90s, yeah.
Kane Parsons wasn't even alive. We weren't even born in the 90s.
Look, I get his fascination with wanting to set it there.
Yeah, but to set it there and to have characters that are this old, but it feels like it's an aesthetic that he wants to play with and not actual themes. Why is it set in the 90s? Like, why does it need to be set in the 90s?
It's purely for aesthetic reasons.
It's purely just for aesthetic reasons, because that's what the backroom sort of looks like, but that is not actually needed. And it feels like just an aesthetic he wants to chuck onto it.
Yeah. It feels very much like they're toying with so many ideas here, but there's a lack of psychiatric understanding. I think he's in a very relatable situation. It's a very relatable feeling to be at a point in your life where you just don't feel fulfilled, but you want to almost think that you are. I think it's a very relatable idea to play with. I just don't think it's done very well.
But yeah, Kane Parsons, like you said, they had to wait to make this movie because he was in
high school.
That's the complete opposite of a perspective.
Yeah,
and it's such a I guess you can say that, well, why not? Artists can make films about whatever, but to make a movie this young about a perspective you don't understand or have lived through is really tough.
Yeah.
I think every artist, their work is a reflection of themselves. So to make something that is not your perspective is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And for that to be the first movie you make, that's a real struggle to do. Even if he was very much separated from the writing and he only put in a couple ideas.
Yeah, that's the thing,
To
right? I don't.
direct
Yeah.
it, to look at Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renata Reinsveld and to direct them as a 20-year-old, that's tough. That's really tough. I'd
Pee.
throw up
I would
at the
pee myself.
I would throw up at the
Yeah.
thought of directing these incredible actors on things that I have no concept of. That's hard. And the actors do their best, but I think especially Renata Reinsveld is bad in this. She's bad.
I wouldn't necessarily say she's.
I don't
as
blame
bad.
her.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I loved her as sentimental value.
She's great in
but
sentimental
she's
value.
not good in this, and I think it's mostly the character.
I think she's
and the
fine.
directing.
She can't find a direction for the character
Because there is no
Yeah.
direction. So
I mean, well,
we follow them for a bit.
yeah, we do follow them for a bit. I'm just going back to my
We've talked about the therapy scene,
Yeah.
and the next big thing is going into the back rooms.
Well, for that, Clark is sleeping at the store. We find out he's watching some science fiction show, and then the lights start flickering, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He checks the breaker box. He calls in an electrician, and there's some extra switches on the breaker box or whatever, and then he sees a glowing slit of light on the wall, if I'm remembering right. And
that was cool. I liked.
Goes through it. Yeah,
I really liked this section of just finding the back rooms and just the little things of the switches. I thought that was really nice. Really, it was nice and quiet and airy. And it was paced really well. I really liked this section.
Aesthetically, I like it. You're right. It does have a very uncomfortable, eerie ambience to it. I think he nails certain elements of the tone he wanted to achieve. So props to him for that. But
Yeah,
once he actually gets in there, I'm like, cool.
It's a
I've
beautiful
seen the
movie,
back
though.
rooms. Yeah,
It's a beautiful movie. I'm very surprised with how great it looks.
pretty young DOP as well. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it's got such a unique look to it. I thought it was really great. A really great visuals. The backrooms, this first section, again, probably my favorite stuff is just him exploring it. It gets a bit boring after a while.
Because I've seen the back rooms.
Because I've seen the backrooms.
I know what the back rooms
And
looks like.
it's not scary because it's shot with these beautiful cameras and these beautiful people, and they're in a very well put together environment. It's eerie and spooky.
Well, what they build up at the start is something's in there and we don't know what it is. There's an entity.
Yeah, just spooky monster.
Spooky monster, basically.
I'm not scared of spooky monsters though. Spooky monsters don't scare me. They look at me and they go, "Wah."
The back rooms.
What happens after this?
I was gonna say the back rooms themselves are essentially just a metaphor for trauma. That's.
Yeah. Do we want to get into the metaphor of the back rooms in this?
Yeah. You might explain it better than what I can. Explain it.
I thought it was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
The backrooms themselves are a simulacrum, which is an idea of a copy of a copy of a copy, and in doing so, you remove the original, the actual function of the original when you get so far down.
Yeah.
And there's a beautiful shot in this where it starts in Renata Reinsveld's. Is that how you say it, Renata?
I think it's Renate Reinsub. Renate Reinsub.
I don't think it's Renate.
We didn't actually say who was in this. the film does star Chiwetel Ejiofor as Clark, Renate Reinsov as Dr. Mary Klein, Lukita Maxwell as Kat, Finn Bennett as Bobby, and Mark Duplass as Phil, the scientist, although you don't need to pay really any attention to the last three names.
Okay, I'm just playing it now.
Hello, my name is Renata Reinsve.
Renata Reinsve.
Reinsve. It's a hard name to get right, just looking at how it's spelled.
Well, yeah, it's a different language.
Yeah.
The idea of the Backrooms is that it takes ideas in your brain and sort of copies it and copies it and copies it until it gets to a point of kind of a false memory, which is how the brain works. The brain isn't a perfect system. Any memory you have is a sort of,
it's a copy.
It's a simulation of the experience you had. So that's why, like, what is it called when eyewitnesses in police work is like very fallible, like because the brain's not actually set up to remember perfectly, and because Clark is an architect and Renata is a therapist, it sort of combines those ideas into this revolving room, which takes a lot of ideas and merges them together and spits out these huge areas which are unmappable. They keep shifting, as the movie says. And that's a great idea, that the Backrooms is sort of just your mind and how it takes and eats and kind of merges it with other ideas and spits out these bricks of knowledge, and to try to navigate them through therapy and trauma is incredibly difficult because it keeps looping back on itself, and to understand the mind is impossible because in doing so you have to use your mind, which then feeds back into this imperfect loop. I think that's really beautiful. And probably the greatest idea out of this is how ununderstandable
it's the most
the
interesting part of the
Backrooms
movie.
It's so great. It's such an idea that I love.
Yeah.
Would love to sink my teeth into, but the film I don't think gets there. And at the end of the movie, they kind of just give up. And there's the line that Renata Reinsve says when she's tied down, where she kind of just gives up, and she's like, "Fuck you, Mark." Clark,
you're the cause of your own.
You're the cause
pain.
of your own trauma. You know.
Yeah.
What do you mean, your brain? You are your brain. In the movie, in the end, it's kind of, if you don't help yourself, you can't be helped. But when you're watching the movie, it makes it feel that some people just are fucked.
Well, the film kind of has a message where it's trying to, I guess, break down the flaws in therapy and when the system does fail people, but it just doesn't do it well.
Yeah, when you break down the ideas that the movie is playing with, they're great.
Some really cruel ideas.
That therapy isn't the end-all be-all, that it is a simple tool that is used by people, and that even therapists are broken people to some extent, and trying to solve ourselves is something that you need to give yourself over to. But watching it, it's a corrupted idea. Weirdly, like the Backrooms itself is corrupting its own themes and messages. So it's a really beautiful idea. And I'd love to read the script itself, because these characters, I think, could be really good, and the ideas are really fascinating. I could really see it being this beautiful metaphor for helping others and helping yourself, and these traumas that get buried in ourselves and buried so deeply that when we try to dig them up, they kind of become our foundation, which is brought back with the handprint on in the concrete, which is these ideas of these traumas. When we bury them so far deep, if we want to remove them and we want to break free of these traumas, you kind of have to break down your foundation as a person. which is very scary because there's your foundation. That's what you literally are.
That's what I want more of in this
That's
movie.
so
Is
incredible.
the
That's
ideas are
such a
there.
beautiful idea.
Yeah.
But the film, I don't think gets that point across. I think it kind of it spoils it, and the ending with the rock in the face. I laughed so hard.
I
I laughed so hard. She was carrying around a big fucking slab of concrete for like a day.
I don't like
You
that
went
scene.
you went to the
Yeah.
back rooms and carried a slab of concrete a paperweight down. Fucking stupid. I fucking hate that.
I don't know how to feel about that stuff, because to me, for a movie which at points is actually quite an intelligent movie, there's some pretty smart ideas in there. When it gets to that classic monster chase shit, I'm like, I'm not here for that with the Backrooms. I love the ideas you guys are toying with here. I just need maybe a 40-year-old writer to get in there and get the guts of it and explore those ideas a lot more clearly.
Well, who is Will
Uh,
Sodic?
Sodic, I pulled up
Doesn't
his
look like
letterboxd.
anything.
No, yeah. I mean, now that I've said that,
For a writer, that doesn't mean anything. For most part, writers in the industry do a lot of work that is unseen because, for the most part, the only people that are credited as writers are first and last draft. People.
He hasn't got much on IMDb. Mostly TV stuff. I think he's mainly a TV writer.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to read the script. I would love to read it. But the next thing that happens is that we kind of skip time.
Yes.
Right?
Well, little shout out to the thumbnail. We come across the cardboard cutouts.
Yes.
Shout out to the thumbnail.
And we skip to Clark getting his
assistant manager and her whatever boyfriend
with an apartheid shirt on.
And he's like, hey guys, I need you to come and film some shit for me. Doesn't tell them what it is, and they're like, what's going on, man?
Now, there's a lot of time that is missing in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of gaps that might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, it might be a day, that are kind of just left to your own imagination. That doesn't work. It doesn't come across. It feels like an error more than a intentional idea. Just because of how fast it goes and nothing really changes. Clark always looks schlubby from day one, so that doesn't really come across. But this is probably the best scene, is them exploring with the VHS camera.
Yes, because that's when we're actually doing just what the YouTube series did. It's the best stuff. Again,
when Clark is exploring on his own, it was good. There was nothing to bounce off of. We were kind of just looking and being like, yeah, okay, well, it was just a spooky room.
Look, it looks like the set design is amazing.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I guess it's a cool contrast jumping from traditional film to the VHS stuff, but I don't know. It's not needed.
I thought it was great. To see the backrooms in such clarity takes away a lot of the scariness.
It does.
Seeing it like immediately, as soon as we switched to VHS or Handycam or DV or whatever they filmed it on, automatically it became twice as scary to me.
Same. I felt the same way.
Shadows became more crunched. The angle that we're shooting at just becomes more tilted, and you see things in the corner of your eye.
There's the clipping from the audio, the distortion. They did a really great job of replicating.
Incredible.
They shot it on a red, and they replicated it so perfectly. Yeah.
Normally, I hate that. I think the classic example is The Visit. M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit, where the kids are supposed to be shooting on like Sony Handycams, but it's I think it's also a red.
Yeah, it's like a red or a Canon.
And there's BTS footage of like the kids reaching their arm, pretending they're holding a huge red camera, which is strapped into like a huge gaffer.
It's so funny, man.
Oh my god, I hate that movie. But this is great. This is the best sequence of the movie. It's so eerie. It's really scary. sending him down with the
Yep.
rope.
That was a great
The
scene.
kill is just is really scary. I did not expect them to die that quickly.
It's one of those scenes where, I really feel my hand gripping the seat. I felt some tension there. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. But I think they kind of they spoil it. This is almost 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This is 111
Yep.
minutes. Doesn't feel like it. It goes pretty quickly, but these characters die, and that's kind of then we kind of just move to the end of the
They're
movie.
nothing characters. They're there to die.
Which is such a shame. I would have loved more of these characters in the back rooms, but we only get really one scene of people talking in the back rooms. We get the first scene with Clark, and then at the end with Renata. But this middle section with all three of them, you get a great bouncing back and forth. Some people are more invested, some people aren't, some people are hesitant. And you get people talking about ideas and discussing stuff, and it's great. It's awesome. And then they just die.
Yeah,
really scary, really great deaths. But they're dead, and they're gone for the rest of the movie.
The end scene where she's yelling through the wall, and he's like, "Where are you?"
That's scary.
That's fucking
scary.
terrifying shit, man.
That whole run through, it was so scary.
Yeah.
And I think they did that all in Blender. Am I correct? The run throughs with
a lot of it is just Blender.
The pool
it's
and
great looking.
A bunch of these. I think all of these rooms I clocked. I don't know if you clocked, but all of these rooms are classic Backrooms photos.
Some of them I did.
The classic Christmas tree, the water room with like the mouth pools. That was really nice seeing all of those and be like, that place and that place and that place. The Christmas tree room. Fuck, that was scary shit.
Terrifying.
It was some scary shit, man. I was shitting myself because until that point, we had never seen anything actually move in the background.
Yeah.
We've seen like little, glimpses of stuff and, shadows and sounds. But to see a figure moving towards us in the back rooms, that was so scary.
Up until that point, everything's just still.
Yeah.
I guess there was the seagull. That was like the most.
Yeah, but
it's
like a bird.
Yeah,
it's like a bird. But this was like a person in the back rooms, and that was so scary to me because I assumed there was going to be one big spooky creature in there, which turns out there is.
Yeah.
But I did not expect there to be actual beings down there, and to see an actual person down there, like that, fucking scared the shit out of me. The whole chase was just great. This was just awesome. This was just fucking great. This is so cool.
It was probably the best stuff. It's probably the best stuff, man. After that, Mary visits the store, concerned about where Clark has gone. Again, I think I'm missing maybe like a chunk in there, but this movie has no.
I think
no
I
sense of
heard
time.
that a bunch of Renata's scenes, like the party and her watching TV,
Yes, that's what I'm
was
missing.
reshoots. Which is crazy because that means she was only in like 2 scenes in the movie before this.
Yeah.
I think it was just literally just the therapy scenes, and then that's really it from her, which is fucking mental. I don't understand.
This movie's an hour it's like 1111 minutes, but it's like 10 minutes of her.
10 minutes of
10
her.
minutes of her.
And you can totally tell because they are the worst scenes.
Yeah.
They it really gave me Dark Star energy. If you don't know, Dark Star, which is the first feature film from John Carpenter, was originally a short film that they just tacked on a bunch of scenes with a fucking blow up balloon.
That's pretty.
And he acted like it was an alien.
Yeah.
And you can really tell that they just tacked them on.
Yeah.
You could totally tell in this because she doesn't interact with any of the characters. She's not in any of the locations. She's in random places doing very little, and barely saying anything. And there's the party scene for some reason. Now, I do want to talk about the internetness of this movie. There is a ton of internet references in this movie, a bunch that I caught in the movie I'm sure there's a ton more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing you didn't catch
I didn't.
any of these.
I'm not an internet dude.
You love grass. You love eating grass. You love touching grass. You love sunshine and rainbows. He doesn't love ones and zeros like I do, like we do, people of the internet.
I'm not a nerd.
Yeah.
I got bitches when I was 5 years old.
What the fuck? Okay. So let me see. So, technically, first off, Mark Duplass, which is not really an
Oh,
internet
that's not
thing.
an internet thing.
but
Everyone
he-
knows Mark Duplass.
He
It'll-
became big in internet circles because of Creep,
Puffy chair.
Puffy Chair. I think mostly Creep
Indie
was.
filmmaking.
I
yeah,
think he probably became big because of Creep,
probably. Yeah.
which was a big internet thing, and he's been pretty active online. That was a thing that stood out to me. He's pretty big in like internet review
Yeah.
circles.
He speaks a lot at festivals, especially South
Yeah.
by.
Yeah. The Caretaker, Everywhere at the End of Time, which is a great series of albums trying to depict what's it called? Where people forget. I'm forgetting. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting the thing when you forget.
I can't tell you
When
what
old
you've
people forget?
forgotten.
What is it when old people forget?
Oh,
Dementia.
dementia, yeah. Uh-huh.
I forgot about dementia. Sorry, folks. I forgot about dementia.
Dementia's kicking in.
Yeah, The Caretaker Everywhere at the End of Time is a series of albums trying to depict the experience of dementia.
Mhm.
Great series. I think it's around 8 hours. And that is played. There's a very iconic song from it that was attached to a lot of backrooms on TikTok. And they use this in the dementia ward scene with Renata Reinsford's
Mhm.
mother. That was pretty cool. That was a really cool thing to see. There's a bunch. They said this on some interviews, but I don't know how sure it was. Half-Life door sound. That some of the door sounds in this were taken from Half-Life.
Sure.
This was asked of Kane Parsons in an interview, and he kind of was like, I don't know, maybe, which I took as a no. I'm guessing it's just a generic door sound, but he is super into the Half-Life and Portal
Yeah.
universe, and there's a bunch of references in this, and I think he's in talks to direct Portal,
I heard. Mm-hmm.
which again is another series which is like a really cool idea, and then it's like, but what if there was a secret scientist organization? And that, weirdly enough, I think Half-Life is the first, like, what if there was a secret science organization?
Mhm.
Probably the best one. I love Half-Life. There is one that I really love, probably the best one, was the Lost Song. Did you know about this, James? So there was a famous
No.
Lost Song. There was a clip online that was sent out, I think, on Reddit, and someone asked, has anyone heard the song? And everyone said that they kind of recognized what the song was, but they couldn't put their finger on it. And it was big for a couple years, and they just found what the actual song was, I think, last year. And they got the band back together, and the actual band who recorded it
Uh-huh.
put out a redone version of it. I think it's called Fix Subway of Your Mind. Let me see. Yeah, Subway of Your Mind by Fix. And so that song is being played in the party scene.
Okay.
I almost did 1, 2, 3, 4 backflips when I heard that. Like, it was crazy being in the cinema
Yeah.
and hearing that and going like, wait, whoa, what the fuck? It was insane to hear that, like, big internet idea, little trend in a movie. That was so fun. But yeah, there are a ton of little internet things about this. Because I've heard that King Parsons isn't a movie guy.
He's more of an internet guy.
He's more of an internet guy.
More of a game guy.
He's not a huge movie guy, because his big other series is an Attack on Titan analog horror.
I saw that. Yeah.
Which you can really tell in this movie. There is, in for good and for bad, there is very little movie references, and the language of the movie isn't really connected to anything. You watch Obsession and you're like, okay, I can see the inspirations from Wes Craven and John Carpenter, and all these classic directors, but I can't see it anywhere in this movie. Which
he keeps citing 1 Hour Photo as
yeah.
a big inspiration. But yeah, I can totally,
which is a
totally
big
get that.
internet movie.
Yeah.
I think that got reclaimed by the internet, and you can feel that.
Yeah.
And it gives this weird feeling to the movie, which kind of adds to it, but also takes away.
I think for me, it took away more than it gave.
Yeah, because you can feel that this guy doesn't actually know movies, but it does give it that unearthly feeling. It reminds me of David Lynch, who didn't really care for movies until
he started making them.
Well, he wanted to be a painter, and then a painter friend put him on to movies, and he's like, wait a minute, movies, they're kind of like moving paintings.
Kind of like a photo play, if you will.
I like to do a painting that moves. Is there any way I could do that? Yes, David, there's a thing called a movie. A movie, you say?
Look over there, David. There's a 35mm camera. You could use that.
That's basically, weirdly enough, that is how David Lynch got into movies. He wanted to make paintings that moved.
Thank God he did.
What a fucking nutcase. I want to make paintings that move.
Guy's crazy, man.
But yeah, that can be great. Some of the greatest directors weren't originally directors. Stanley Kubrick was a photographer before he became a filmmaker. But in this case, I think maybe if he was older and he had more skills in other departments, but you can get the feeling that he doesn't fully understand movies.
Yeah. Well, if you were to line him and Curry Baker up, I'd probably point out Curry Baker as the filmmaker.
Yeah,
if you stack him next to Steven Spielberg, I'm like, nope, that's the filmmaker, Steven Spielberg. He looks like it. He looks like it. I can tell.
And I wonder if that's going to be great in a few movies after he's made a couple movies, that we can get that feeling, that Lynchian feeling of not being a full movie, playing with the medium of movies because they don't even know. I think the famous story from Citizen Kane, Orson Welles being like, okay, we'll put the camera down here and point it upwards, and they're like, what do you mean you can't put the camera down there? He's like, why not? Just dig a hole and put the camera there and point it upwards. And they're like, well, we don't do that. And he's like, I don't care.
Because he comes from stage
because he doesn't
understand radio plays.
He doesn't understand movies.
He doesn't understand the language, but that in some ways helps you break the bounds of what's possible.
Yeah. So this could totally work.
I'm excited to see what he does next.
But in this, I just don't think it doesn't. I don't think it comes across, and it ends up being this really weird movie that feels like a movie not made by a movie guy.
We've got to move on.
Sure.
Mary visits the store, as we said, and she stumbles across the entry to the back rooms. She goes.
What's the word? Backrooms.
Backrooms. She enters, and we see that all the furniture is disappeared from the room. And Clark kind of comes up and is like, "Oh my God, you're gonna keep it down. You're gonna don't make too much noise." And then he chokes her, and she blacks out. Mary awakens tied in a chair in a space resembling a dining room occupied by Clark and 3 malformed, unresponsive imitations of humans, one of whom is a grotesque copy of his wife. They stare.
And also, she's not fat. He calls her fat in that therapy session. She didn't look fat. She looked like a beautiful woman. Fuck you, Clark. I said it.
You said it.
I
You heard
said
it here first, guys.
I'm standing up. I'm standing up.
Feminism.
I'm a feminist until I die.
They stare impassively as Clark stabs one of them with a large knife and reveals Kat's severed head in the refrigerator. Clark demands that Mary continue the therapy session, but she insists, but she instead scolds Clark, telling him that his wife left him for his inability to take responsibility for his failures. Clark begins to release Mary, but is interrupted by the arrival of Captain Clark. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Captain Clark, who towers over him and is distorted, and he's the mascot of the store.
Yeah, the scolding scene again. It's weird. I like the idea that she's like, "Well, you're fucked because you don't want help. You want to be correct. You want to sit in this back rooms.
Yeah.
You want to sit in your mind.
Here's your trauma. Take it.
You
Keep
want
it."
to sit in your trauma and believe that you're the good guy, that you're unfallible,
Yeah.
that nothing was your fault. But when you watch it, the feeling is that the movie doesn't believe therapy works, and that Clark is just unfixable.
Well, the movie takes a weird turn here because I feel so much, I guess, like empathy for him. Like, there's
Yeah, for
certain
Clark,
elements
yeah.
there that I really connected with, and for him
Yeah.
just to end.
For Renata, who's been in 2 scenes
Yeah.
with him, to just start screaming at him. Fairly enough, she's gonna kill him. He's
gonna kill her. Fair
But
enough. But
I think it's because Chiwetel is an incredible actor, and Kane can't get him to be monstrous enough.
No.
He's like a sad little boy.
But-
I like Clark. He's great because all the energy I'm getting from him is Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's a great guy.
And also the passing of time. It's such a leap to go from one scene where he's just
and you don't feel it.
to him being a fucking psychotic killer. I'm like, I don't get the jump in time here. It makes no sense.
I put it to directing.
Yeah.
I think the actors are on 2 different wavelengths, and the scene is not working. I don't. When I'm watching it, it feels like Renata is being too mean and Clark is being a little puppy. But in reality, Clark is a monstrous guy who's killed people, and Renata is trying to help. But the way that it's directed is just doesn't get that feeling across.
No. It's very. They're on 2 different levels.
Especially when Clark's like pleading to Captain Clark, like he's trying to console. Like he's a little kid trying to console someone. He's like, don't worry. She says we could stay, we can be fine, we can be happy. And I'm like, this is the bad guy. It's weird. It's just a weird energy they're bringing to it.
As soon as the Captain Clark comes in, they lose me. I'm like,
yeah. As soon as you see him full in bright lights, I'm like, okay,
this guy's kind of goofy.
He's
kind of goofy.
I think it's my least favorite trope of current horror is the monster being the tall, lanky monster. You see it in nothing. You don't see it in anything. You see it.
They're always lanky. You fucking.
What am I trying to think of? Barbarian. Barbarian's probably the best example of just a big, lanky, pale person. I think the first time they really did it was in Dead by Dawn, even though that's a video game. But that's a huge trope in like 2010s, is just big, lanky person. The Nun is just a big, lanky woman. And I'm like, I'm not scared of a big, lanky person,
Yeah, well...
It's not scary.
No, it's not scary. I mean, Captain Clark is supposed to represent his fear reflecting back on him, and it's like I just don't. No,
I didn't believe but also because they're so big and lanky, I feel like I could just fucking tack him in the knee and they're done.
Well, she basically does.
Yeah, I don't. Every time they have a big lanky person in a horror movie, I'm like, they're not good at running. Big lanky people aren't good at run. Like if you're like 8 foot tall and you're big and lanky like that, I'm like, you're not good at running. What do you mean?
Especially through this place.
Yeah,
This
which is
is
like tiny
a
hallways.
winding passage of hallways.
They don't look strong.
Chaotic and surreal
They don't look
spaces.
scary.
Yeah.
They don't look intimidating. And so I'm like, what do you mean? I could just fucking throw a chair at them.
Yeah.
Which she does. She just throws a chair at him and he's done.
This is the worst stuff. She's cornered by the monster. She bashes it in the face
With
using a chunk of cement from her childhood home.
Why did she like? I can totally see the thinking here, and it's so like they're backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Like they were filming on the day, and they're like, "Oh, you know what we should do? She should get the rock from the earlier in the movie." I'm like, she was carrying that the whole day. She went out that day. Does she always do that? Every day she's like, "Oh, forgot to take my memento rock."
Yeah, because I mean, when she's at home, it's always sitting in front of her. On her
Yeah. So she takes it
coffee
everywhere.
table, I guess.
And I like the idea that, you know, this literal stone of trauma and her childhood is weighing her down, but in this scenario she uses it to free herself. It's just dumb. It's dumb. It's
Yeah.
like shit you see in like a student film.
The struggle triggers an async gas trap, alerting a group of researchers in hazmat suits. The monster is subdued and Mary is taken to the research facility. After recovering, Mary is brought to an interrogation room where we see Mark Duplass, Phil. He explains that Async made MRI machines until they just discovered the Backrooms, which has since become their primary research focus. When asked how she came across the Backrooms and what she found there, she repeats Clark's description of it as a faulty, misremembered copy of reality. Mary asks if Async will let her go, but Phil vaguely replies that the decision is not up to him. And then we cut to inside the Backrooms, a series of spaces. And then, you know, Mary's sitting there, her still... What would you even call it?
It's like a copy.
Yeah, her copy is just sitting there, and we cut to black.
Why? Why would you do this?
Feel spooked, Rhys?
What's scary about this ending? I know exactly what the Backrooms is now. And it's also a case of, so the Backrooms that we set up in the movie that I went on like a 5-minute rant about is that it's a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor for therapy and for your brain and how it processes trauma and memories. And yet this ending is Mark Duplass saying, this is real. This is a real place. Here's the coordinates. Take a left at Albuquerque and you'll make your way to the Backrooms. I'm like, so then is it a metaphorical place that is a room that takes in your trauma and processes it down, and it's a metaphor for your literal brain, or is it a physical place with a map?
The movie doesn't know.
The movie doesn't know. It wants both.
Yeah.
And that's not scary. And if it is a physical place, that's not scary, because I'm not going to go to the Backrooms. Why would I go to the Backrooms?
That's the thing. It can't be both, but it wants to be, you know?
Yeah. They need to put in these scientists because that's the law.
Yeah.
And that's what the people are there for. But why are there scientists there? Do we need scientists there? Is the movie better for them having scientists? If you cut out the opening scene and you cut out the ending and you just leave it with Renata killing Captain Clark and leaving the Backrooms, that's a better movie, I think.
Better movie would be like a 40-minute movie.
Great movie. But why do you need the scientists?
Yeah, you don't need the scientists. We already established the lore and the background in the web series, which is established as part of this universe. We don't.
It's different though.
This.
I think Kane Parsons says that this is not connected to his web series.
I thought he said it was connected.
No,
okay, interesting.
No, it's not. But yeah, why? Why does it need to be explained?
It doesn't need to be explained. Yeah. I don't know. This
is a really bad. I think it's a really bad ending.
Yeah.
It very much felt like the ending of Psycho, of the doctor sitting there and basically just telling the people what the horror is. I was like, why? Why are you telling me what the horror is? I know. I watched the fucking movie.
It's the worst part of Psycho, is
Yeah,
when he's
it's
explaining
the
everything.
famously
Yeah.
worst part of Psycho is the ending.
Yeah.
Something that Alfred Hitchcock has said multiple times. Why would they do this? This is a terrible, dumb, stupid ending.
Yeah. This movie,
It's a good movie.
it's good.
It's a good movie. I think it's got incredible ideas, great actors,
Good atmosphere.
beautiful look, great atmosphere, but it just, I think it's just, he's not a good director.
It's almost there. I want to say it's almost there.
Yeah, at some points I was like, this is a great movie.
Mm.
This is a great movie. And then other points I'm like, this is fucking dog shit.
There are just so many bits that I love, but when they don't connect, I haven't got a movie that I'm enjoying, you know? When
again,
the dots aren't connecting, I'm not in it.
If I watched this before Obsession, I would like this much more.
Yeah.
Because now I know that a 20-year-old can make a great horror film for cheap. Like, Obsession was made so much cheaper.
Yeah.
And so much more earnestly, too. Because did Kane Parsons want to make this?
I don't know, because you can really feel Curry Baker.
He needed to make that movie.
You can feel an artist in that movie. You can't.
I don't think Kane Parsons needed in his bones to make this movie.
He's more of a technical guy, Kane Parsons. You know, I mean, he's very well spoken 20-year-old. The best well spoken 20-year-old I've ever listened to in my life. But I don't know how much of this is him and how much of this is Will Gooddick. You know. Because there's no story credit attributed to Kane, so I don't know.
I'm interested what he does next.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why he's doing this.
I'm interested to see what he does next, but I just don't think he's ever going to be able to break out of this, you know? I want to see what else he can do that isn't Backrooms. I've had my Backrooms fix. I'm done.
Yeah. Why did we need a Backrooms movie?
But we didn't.
But this is a good version. This could have been Slender Man. Have you watched Slender Man?
Yeah, unfortunately.
This could have been Slender Man. And instead, he took a risk. He did a big swing. He made a movie that wasn't about him, that was about something different, that wasn't connected to, that wasn't just a fan service fest.
Yeah.
Great. I love that he took such a big swing. It's a good movie.
Probably making it sound like it's...
That's always what I do.
Yeah.
I love to bitch. It's a good movie. I think if I watch it again, I'll enjoy it a bit more. With some time away from it, and probably on my laptop in a dark room, I'll probably enjoy this much more. This was good. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I gave this movie...
I went back and forth. I think I originally gave it a 7, and then I gave it a 6, and then I went back and forth a bit, but I'm 6 to 7.
I gave it a 3 stars out of 5.
Great. I'm just about finished this vanilla Coke. Kane Parsons Backrooms. Oh, okay, James. It just we've been in this Backrooms for almost an hour now, and I just realized that there is actually just a door right there, right behind you. Look behind you. Yeah, there's a door. Okay, sweet. Probably should have looked around a bit before.
Didn't think of that.
Didn't think of that. We just saw the setup and we're like, well, why not?
And the
when
fact
in Rome,
we've been hearing some spooky ass sounds around the corner for the last 2 hours.
Oh, sorry, that was my stomach.
Shit.
I'm hungry. Okay, well,
All
let's
right.
get out of the back rooms and then we could talk about the Odyssey.
May the wrath of Neptune descend upon you.
I am Ulysses, king of Ithaca, conqueror of Troy. There across the wide and dark sea is my home. I have been making my way to them these many years, but the anger of the gods pursued me. But I am here, undestroyed.
Welcome back to an Odyssey through the Odyssey, where we explore the adaptations of the Odyssey leading up to Christopher Nolan's epic film.
Almost as long as the film itself. Probably longer.
This is going to be much longer. The film's less than 3 hours, which I just found out
yes,
the other
they
day.
posted the runtime.
And we bought the tickets.
We have them.
Opening
them,
day
baby.
tickets. Not the first showing. The first IMAX showing is at 10. And we bought tickets for 1. Because who fucking cares? I think it's better to watch it at 1. 10 a.m. That's a weird time.
There's going to be some early risers that are more eager than you, Rhys.
I just think it's a better time. It's a better time to watch it at 1 than it is at
10 a.m.
It's just a weird time.
I'm not waking up to go see the Odyssey at 10.
We would.
But I'll be sleepy.
But it's not going to be better. It's a worse experience. Imagine leaving the Odyssey and it's 1 o'clock and it's lunchtime. No.
And it's a Christopher Nolan film, so there's something that's going to be sitting in your mind.
Yeah.
And it's going to be boggling you all day, and leaving the theater at 1 o'clock is just weird.
Yeah. But this episode was a bit shaken up. Last episode was the TV one, which broke my brain. So this one was a bit easier, but also a bit weirder. It's been about 3 weeks, so I did a bit of a detox. But because of the break, I had to restructure the episodes, so it's going to be a bit weird from here on. Last episode, we talked about TV, and in this episode, we are going to talk about shorts and oddities. Short films. In this, we get to talk about the very first adaptation of the Odyssey, which was in 1909, The Return of Ulysses. This was... I watched this a while ago. How was it, Rhys? Past Rhys? Where's my notes on these?
Return of Ulysses. This is a short from 1909? Is it 12 minutes? Am I looking at the right one? It's a pathé.
I need to pull this back up so I can remember what it is. Sorry, there's a biscuit commercial.
A Kiwi Bank commercial.
Oh, breastfeeding commercial. Okay.
They got Pam's now.
What the fuck?
Thanks, Pam's.
A Griffin's ad where a woman is breastfeeding, and it's basically just saying that if you want to do good breastfeeding, you need a squiggle. Good breast milk comes from squiggles.
Why is this French?
Yes, I remember. Okay, it's been a while. I remember this one. This one is basically from the perspective of Penelope. Ulysses only appears at the end once he actually returns. It is literally about the return of Ulysses. It isn't about Ulysses returning. It is about people waiting for Ulysses to return. So it is focused on Penelope. A lot of these shorts, that's basically what it was about, is that they take just an idea of the Odyssey and they extract it into a small short, because you can't really do much of the Odyssey in a short format, so you got to take core ideas. This one being about Penelope. This was pretty good. Very simple, very nice. If you have the time, I'd watch it. It's just a nice little lovely film.
You have the time.
Then there was, in 1919, was The Fall of Troy. Technically not the Odyssey, but you know. This was incredible, James. I want you to pull up The Fall of Troy.
Okay, The Fall of Troy, 1919.
This is insane. This was so utterly insane. I am not joking you. I don't even know what to say about this one.
1919.
1911.
Oh, 1911. I see. 30 minutes? Okay. Let me see. French again?
Yes, French again.
My God, these fucking French. Stop talking. This looks very
If you skip to the end where they actually do, so I mean, it's fine until the end, and it will
Oh
blow your
wow,
mind.
wow, this is crazy. These are some pretty cool set pieces. This is
So many people,
that's
unbelievable
crazy.
amount
This
of
is
people.
like almost Napoleon level of set piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to the
Wow.
and you can see where they built the walls. If you go to, I think, 1750,
Mhm.
you see where the Trojans pull in the horse,
Yes,
and
yes.
you can tell that it is
yeah.
just a cardboard
Yeah.
cutout. It looked great in an earlier shot, but as soon as they pull it in, you can see it wiggle from side to
Yeah.
side. The whole place is built just of these cardboard cutouts, which looks so incredible. This is gorgeous.
These are beautiful. This is a pretty good copy for a 1911 movie.
So many people. And these directors also did another big movie. Trying to remember what it was.
I see. In the background, the horse looks much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more believable.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see this movie called Cabaret. Might be racist, I don't know. But
Might be?
it looks like so huge. Something about these old movies
Wow. Yeah.
that have such such grandiose sets and costumes and characters just blows your mind because they had no facility to make that money
Yeah.
back. So stuff like this, they just like shat money. I don't understand how they did it.
It's very
This was great.
stage-like. Yeah.
This was so amazing to see.
Sorry, the stuff with the ships though looks fucking
So gorgeous, so gorgeous. There is a bunch of just weird little shorts. One that I watched, I had a bunch listed. One was called the Milwaukee Odyssey. Another was called Calypso, and this other one was called Ulysses' Dog.
Yep.
These are just modern ones. They're just random short films people made.
How modern?
2024, 2025, 2026. So these are just random movies people made that just they chucked on YouTube. I didn't watch all of them. Once I realized that they were just random people's movies,
It becomes less interesting.
yeah, it becomes really less interesting. I did watch Ulysses' Dog though, which I couldn't understand because
Ulysses' Dog.
Well, okay, so I get to talk about Ulysses' dog now. His dog's named Argos. Now, Argos is an incredibly tragic figure in the Odyssey. So, what happens is Argos was the runt of a litter in back in the day before the Trojan War, and his farmhands were going to kill the dog, but Ulysses or Odysseus saved Argos and trained him to be his hunting dog. And so from then on, Argos dedicated his life to Odysseus. And when Odysseus left for Troy, he told Argos to sit and stay and wait. And so Argos stayed and waited for 10 years through the Trojan War, and then 10 years for his 7 years for his journey back to Ithaca. And in, I think, the original telling of the Odyssey, when Odysseus makes his way back to Ithaca, he comes back in his disguise as a beggar, so that he would not be recognized by the suitors of the house. But to keep the disguise up, when he passes the front gate, where Argos has been waiting for 20 years, Argos sees Odysseus, and all Argos has wanted is for Master to come back, pat his head, and tell him he's a good boy. But in, I believe, the original telling, because Odysseus is in this disguise, he passes Argos and pretends that he does not know Argos.
Oof.
and Argos dies,
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
having his master past him without a word.
Oh.
Now, basically every adaptation of the Odyssey, that changes. Every adaptation of the Odyssey I have watched, Argos recognizes Odysseus, and Odysseus pats Argos and tells him he's a good boy. They basically just rework that.
Yeah.
And in some
Fair enough.
adaptations, they use that as the point where, say, Telemachus or Penelope recognizes Odysseus as because Argos recognizes him. But I believe in the original adaptation or the original source material, Argos dies, having waited for his master to come back.
That's heartbreaking. Oh.
Yeah. So, in this 2024 version, it is, I believe,
Is it on YouTube?
It's a Portuguese film. It was really interesting. It was really weird. It was really weirdly made. It's just by a no-name director. It was really interesting. I couldn't understand it. It had no subtitles, so it was in Portuguese, and I couldn't understand a word. But it was really nice. Yeah, it was just a shot of a dog with some soft words over it. But yeah, it was just an excuse for me to talk about Argos and that really tragic story. Another one I watched was Achilles, which was really cool. I've been reading the Iliad, and Achilles is one of the probably the third main character of the Iliad. It would be Achilles, Paris, and Agamemnon would be probably the main, and then Helen would probably be the main characters. And in this, I want you to pull up, James.
What am I pulling up?
So pull up Achilles 1995.
Okay,
There's 11 minutes.
Okay.
And this is a stop motion animated film about
G95.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, stop motion puppets. I believe this was probably like a TV short or what have you.
Let me see. No, go away, Daily Motion.
It'll be the main one on YouTube.
Give me the main one. I see, okay. Oh my god, this
So this whole short is just a gay panic movie. Is about
fuck?
Achilles being gay and struggling with the fact that he is gay, and his lover, the struggle to accept his lover, and how his lover dies on the fields of Troy because of Achilles' pride. This was incredible. The animation is beautiful. The narrator is incredible, and it is just blatant gay sex throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
It is so good. I would recommend anyone watch it. It's really fucking good.
This is impressive.
Yeah, really, really good. There's a bunch of other ones I will probably go through a bit later. There was a couple animated ones, 1974. Don't know how to pronounce this.
Sorry, I was distracted by the foot play. 1974.
I don't even know how to pronounce it. There's a Czech film. This was really hard to find. This was one of the first ones that I watched. My review is the only review.
That's an honor.
If you look on the letterbox, yeah, this is how deep I'm going, guys. If you go on the letterbox for this, which is really hard to find, directed by Jorge Kibet, or Joseph Kibet. The recent reviews is just me, and would be great if I could speak Czech. This was good. It was good.
You don't speak Czech?
Has no poster, has no backdrop, has one cast member, a couple crew members. This was good. Nice little animated Czech film. Not much to say about it. Just real solid stuff. There is a couple others. One of the big ones, which is sort of a short film, sort of not, is a 45-minute or as a 55-minute animated film called The Odyssey. super weird. This was an Australia.
Australian Odyssey?
Yeah, an Australian animated film. Um, really odd. I do not understand who made this. So, the person who made this, Warwick Gilbert, has made a bunch of these. I'm guessing they're very cheap and educational films. These feel like a something your teacher would put on if you were 12.
Absolutely.
He's made Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Robin Hood, Hunchback of Notre Dame, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Treasure Planet, Tom Sawyer. So he basically did tons of adaptations of children's and popular fiction. This was fun. It's really odd because it is basically the structure of the Odyssey, but at the end, Odysseus, they shake it up so when he gets to the island of the Phoenicians, I believe it's the Phoenicians. Just give me a sec. I don't want to be wrong. The Phaeacians, or the Phaeacians. When he gets to the island of the Phaeacians, instead of it being Nausicaa, the princess Nausicaa, it's Penelope, his wife. So in this version of the Odyssey, he doesn't have a wife and child.
Right.
So he's just getting back to Ithaca.
Getting for no reason.
So his last stop in the Phaeacian island, Penelope is just the princess. So, because that's the big thing, is that he could stay on the Phaeacian island and he can end his journey here and he can be the king of the Phaeacians, and he could take this beautiful wife and everything will be great and grand, or he takes the big journey to go back out on the sea and get back to Ithaca. It's his last stop on the way to Ithaca. But in this case, they're just like, that's his last stop. It's fine. But the final scene of this is he gets there, he confesses his love to Penelope, who's in this adaptation Nausicaa, and he's like, sweet, I'm gonna stay here. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna love it. And Poseidon gets so pissed that he comes down and he's like, no, you are not gonna have a happy ending. And he just beats him up. He just beats him up with his bare hands. The ending of this movie is Odysseus putting Poseidon, king of the sea, brother of Zeus, in a headlock, and Poseidon just tapping out and going, fuck? Uncle. He just beats him up.
What the fuck?
His bare fucking hands. He just fucking knocks his shit. He just rocks his shit. And then the movie ends and he's like, fine, whatever, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm going back to Olympus. Fuck this.
Sure.
That was fun. That was a good time.
That sounds fun.
But now let's get into the juicy stuff, James.
Oh, we're getting into the juicy stuff.
SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie.
Let's go, baby.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Let's go. Basically my childhood, this movie.
I haven't watched this movie since I was a kid, which I didn't realize. I assumed that I had watched this a bunch, but I don't think I've watched this film since I was like 12.
It's funny, you can get it on 4K. But
yes, I was so close to buying it on 4K. I think I'll buy it in like a couple months when they're on sale again. This was so good. I remember watching a YouTube video about this movie, and at the end, the reviewer basically says, this is the Odyssey. This is an adaptation of the Odyssey. And I was like, oh, wow. And going through this, SpongeBob was one of the big ones. I was originally just going to do SpongeBob, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, the original Kirk Douglas adaptation, and then something else. It was going to be these kind of adaptations. And I've looked into it. I don't really think anyone purposely made it into an Odyssey adaptation.
Honestly, it's probably more faithful than other adaptations, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah. I couldn't really find too much about it being a straight adaptation of the Odyssey. But it is weirdly close. you have the Cyclops, you have this big grand adventure, and while they're out on their adventure, their home is being destroyed by invaders. The big bad that sends them on this journey is, in this adaptation, Neptune and not Poseidon, which is the Roman version of the Greek god, which I think is the case because there is the classic SpongeBob episode where it is Poseidon, I think. Poseidon. Oh, maybe it is just. Sorry. Yeah. I think he's called King Neptune because there is the King Neptune in the earlier episodes. Do you remember the episode where they have the cook-off?
Yes.
And King Neptune builds like this huge stack, and SpongeBob like tucks in the pickles with the slice of cheese. Even though they're very different characters, I think that's probably why they kept it to Neptune and not Poseidon. And it even gets granular to the usage of the magical bag of wind, which is an item given to Odysseus by, I forget who gives. Let me search it.
And in the original book, of course, Odysseus does take the Krabby Patty,
the secret formula. Plan Z. Alos, the immortal keeper of the winds, gives him the bag of wind. So it even gets granular into the bag of wind.
That's cool.
Which is crazy. And so it is, and the film is about growing up and becoming a man, which is weirdly more Telemachus' story in the Odyssey, less Odysseus' story. So it's really odd how close it is. I mean, not super close.
I'm guessing the writers are aware of the Odyssey, but kind of subconsciously incorporated it into the story.
But this is closer to the Odyssey than I would say "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Because it also has the siren with the great scene of the free ice creams. But God, this
so great.
movie was so
it's a
good.
joy. It's a joy to watch.
It's so funny. It's got musical scenes. The music is great.
Come on, man.
Now that we're men, I've changed my underwear. Now that we're men, we'll go to Shell City, get the crown, save the town of Mr. Krabs.
The tavern scene?
Oh my god.
Where they gotta
so
find
good.
the goofy goobers?
Oh my god.
I'm not a goofy goober.
Waiter, let's get another round over here.
Waiter.
Why do I always get the nuts?
God,
it's
my god, it's so good.
And it's so beautiful, and the animation is so amazing. The ham boning scene. I think it's my favorite trope in movies where like a bunch of dangerous people are won over by the main character because he's so fun. Your favorite movie, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
God, I hate Pee-wee's
Oh
Big
my god,
Adventure.
that's the best scene of Pee-wee's Big Adventure where they're like, you got any last words, Pee-wee? And he starts dancing, and they love his dancing so much that they give him the bike, and then he drives into the fucking side.
So stupid. Is this not?
Oh my god! But the
funny.
the ham boning scene in the trench, in the deep dark trench. Do you remember the scene where they're whacking each other?
Yes.
And the monsters are loving it so much that they decide to help them. It's so good, and it's so beautiful because it's actually telling a story, and these characters have flaws that they work on, and Mindy being sort of the allegory to Athena in this, being someone who's always with them and helping them. It's so good.
Patrick is just in love with her every.
So good. It is one of the...
What'll it be?
Such a great movie.
Mustard or ketchup?
You don't need a license to drive a sandwich.
It's so great. Yeah.
It is incredible.
Mhm.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh my god.
And the big, climactic song at the end.
Yeah. When they're
So
about
good.
to be dehydrated and the
Yeah.
pirates are
Be
crying.
the deer of the goofy goober.
Oh
my
it's
God.
so good.
It's so funny.
I haven't seen that movie in like over 10 years.
It's incredible. If you haven't watched it,
Watch it.
watch it. It is so much fun. It is such a joy to go through. And the animation is so beautiful.
Superb. At
They
its best.
really go crazy
Yeah.
on the animation in this movie. The different mediums that they use.
The incorporation of live action into the animation
Yeah.
is so well done. It's
David Hasselhoff is so good.
and his pecs are like
His pecs-
moving.
You done well, Hasselhoff. You done well. This is half the reason I decided to do this, just so I could watch SpongeBob the movie again.
Valid reason.
It is so good. There was a couple other ones which I wasn't able to watch. But I got I did watch the return of Ringo, which was a western, which unfortunately had no subtitles, so I couldn't really get the full gist of. But there's a couple others in there. One that I'll probably try to get to is The Traveling Companions, which is like a weird seems like a story set about the sirens.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks really I think it's about prostitutes, where the sirens are literal prostitutes, but I will see if I can get that.
The Traveling Companions.
Yeah, it's really hard to find, but there is a bunch of them that are like sort of adaptations. The one that I did get to watching is Ithaca, directed by Meg Ryan, and with a cameo starring role by our boy Jack Quaid.
Oh,
do you know why?
No, I don't know why.
Meg Ryan is his mum.
Oh, okay.
I was surprised. I was watching this.
How long ago was this?
What, that Meg Ryan had Jack Quaid?
No, this movie was made.
However old Jack Quaid is, I guess. 2015. This was a bad movie. This was a bad movie. I found it halfway through that this is an adaptation of what originally was a screenplay turned novel. That was a pseudo adaptation of the Odyssey. The main character's name is Homer, and then his brother is named Odysseus. I don't know.
It sounds terrible.
And the home is the town is called Ithaca, and it is set in World War II. And he plays the main character Homer plays a newspaper a telegram deliverer. So he sends a bunch of like mothers the telegrams that their boys have died. It's not good. It's really
this sounds terrible.
Poor film.
Tom Hanks is in this?
Tom Hanks has a bunch of cameos.
What the fuck?
I think just because Meg Ryan and him made those Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail. So they've got he says like one line. He's in two shots. He's like a dead father.
Right,
He's a dead father. It's really bad. You could tell that he probably just swung by for a couple shots.
I gotcha.
This movie sucked.
2.7 average.
It's really bad. Why it is about the Odyssey, I don't understand. I can kind of get it because it's like World War II, so all these boys are going off to, because at the time the Trojan War in the story was the biggest, Project Trojan Storm was the biggest, war ever in the Mediterranean, and it lasted decades, which is comparable to World War II, but it doesn't really get that, and it's kind of lame. I can get some of the ideas in it, but overall it is pretty shit.
Looking at this, it looks pretty shit.
Would not recommend it. So, there was a couple others that I have to squeeze through a bit later. I'll see if I can find a English subtitled version of The Return of Ringo. It was pretty fun for what I was watching. I'll see if I can find The Traveling Companions and a film called Keyhole 2011, which I don't know anything about. But next week will be a much cleaner version of this. And we're getting to the end.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. We've got, I think, 3 weeks left. 3 weeks of 3 or 4 weeks of Odyssey through the Odyssey, until we get to our final episode.
How do you feel? We're getting to the end. Is this all worth it, Rhys?
This was a bad set of stuff because it's all over the place. You know, it was weird little short films and odd films that weren't really the Odyssey, but kind of were. SpongeBob was great. Some of these short films are amazing. I'm really excited to get into the next episode, which is a much more solid episode about the Odyssey. I
feel deeply educated, and after this, because I don't go to parties, I won't have anyone to tell. Spew my knowledge.
You can't corner people.
I want to corner my
a random girl and talk to her about Ithaca, directed by Meg Ryan.
But I haven't got to the best part yet.
Jack Quaid is in it. Jack Quaid, my boy.
Jack Quaid's in it. Cool.
I love Jack Quaid. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled program.
We're back with the second and final feature this week, Disclosure Day.
Oh my god, why did we leave this to last? I'm so tired.
If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you?
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Today is today's.
People have a right to know the truth. It belongs to 7 billion people.
What is it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'm gonna show you.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. All at once.
People keep wondering. Encountering the unknown.
They're coming! They're coming!
They are starved for the truth.
Do you think there could be others?
Why would he make such a vast universe? Yet save it only for us?
Directed by Steven Spielberg, written by David Koepp, story by Steven Spielberg, and cinematography by his regular DOP. How do you say his name there?
Janusz Kaminski.
Janusz Kaminski, I see.
Yeah.
Starring a shit ton of actors: Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Coleman Domingo, Eve Hewson, and Wyatt Russell, amongst many, many others.
We have been recording for 4 hours. Why did we? I don't know why I left this to last.
This is bigger than the Backrooms.
Oh my fucking god!
This is a 2.5 hour long movie, which is no this is usual for Spielberg. He always
Yes,
comes out of
yes.
the gate swinging with a 2.5 hour plus runtime at most
Okay.
most
I
cases.
don't think we should go plot by plot because we'll be here for 5 hours. Let's start with our relationship with Spielberg. What was your relationship with Spielberg?
Spielberg, like many filmmakers, is the reason I'm even into movies. I want to say
are a Spielberg boy.
I'm a Spielberg
You're
boy.
a Spielberg boy.
I'm a Spielberg and Lucas boy, but probably more so Spielberg. I've got the Jaws poster.
Yeah, right here. You
right-
just finished reading Jaws.
Almost finished reading Jaws.
Yeah. Your sensibilities as an artist and a director
Yes.
is much more Spielberg-y, where you don't care about the story and you're there to get the visuals across.
There's some light themes, but Spielberg overall is a very not necessarily commercial, but his films are for everyone.
Yeah, and
everyone.
You're both very sexless in your filmmaking.
Yeah. What's your relationship?
I mean, yeah, Spielberg's always been there. I've never really put too much weight on him. He's always just been the director. I think he's such a classical director in every sense of the word. I don't think there's a person you can say is a director more than Steven Spielberg. Every generation, people try to pinpoint the next generation. Spielberg, last generation was M. Night Shyamalan. This generation is Nolan. Probably the next generation would be Kane Parsons. I absorbed most of my Spielberg films through osmosis. And without even realizing that they were Spielberg films, I think once I got to film school and I actually looked at Spielberg's career outside of Jaws, Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, E.T., I was like, oh, I've watched like half of these movies and I didn't even realize it.
He's an interesting director because weirdly his work matures over time. The start of his career is full of these big like action,
bubbly,
whimsical set piece movies, and then the
90s, 2000s
it
gets so depressed,
pretty depressed, very personal,
and then he rebounds in the 2010s, late 2010s. He kind of rebounds, but too much with stuff like the BFG Ready Player One. Then he kind of gets back there with West Side Story and Fabelmans, and now Disclosure Day. So top 5, bottom 5. James, what are your top 5 Spielbergs?
My top 5 Spielbergs are as follows: not Warhorse, Jaws, Last Crusade,
yep,
Schindler's List.
Oh, we're not putting Disclosure Day in yet.
No, I'm not including Disclosure Day. This is where it gets tough. I'm going to say Jurassic Park. Now, this gets really tough.
So what do you got? You got Jurassic Park, Last Crusade, Jaws,
and I'm going to say it has to be Fabelmans.
What's your number 5?
Oh, that's my number 5. Oh,
Jaws.
Oh, Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Last Crusade, Fabelmans.
Yeah, Fabelmans.
What's your bottom 5?
My bottom 5. I have not seen all of his work, so I'm going to have to say bottom 5 are... Oof, where do I even start here? I actually haven't thought about the bottom 5.
Okay, I'll do my top 5.
Yeah, you do your top 5. You do your top 5.
It's really hard because he's such a big director that you forget the ones you've already picked because there's so many. For me, it's really hard.
It's hard, right?
I think Jaws, Saving Private Ryan, The Fabelmans, Tintin.
Interesting.
And
did you say Raiders?
No.
No.
What am I going to pick for my number 5?
Something evil. There we go. Capped it off.
What do I pick for my number 5? Let's go Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
So
Park?
yeah, my top 5: Jurassic Park, Jaws, Saving Private Ryan, Tintin, and The Fabelmans.
That's a pretty good top 5.
My bottom 5. Do we count Something Evil? I hate Something Evil.
No. It has to be.
Damn it.
I don't think we can.
Damn it.
No one's fucking watched that.
I have.
Yeah, I know you have.
1941. Gotta be the worst.
Yep. The Terminal?
Terminal. Oh my god, I fucking hate The Terminal.
Fucking Terminal.
I hate The Terminal. Yeah, 1941, The Terminal, Crystal Skull. Then I know what my number 1 least favorite is. I'll save that. I'll save that. I'll say, because I haven't watched those really bad ones like BFG or War Horse.
Well, War Horse isn't bad. It's just a fine movie.
I'll say Hook.
Hook?
I haven't watched Hook in ages, but I'll...
No Ready Player One in there?
You just spoiled it, James. That's my least favorite. I was saving that.
Oh, I thought you were at number 1.
Fuck.
I thought you were at number 1.
So, my bottom 5, 1941, The Terminal, Hook, and Ready Player One, which is... I wish I could rip out of the fabric of the universe with my teeth. What's your bottom 5?
My bottom 5 are... I don't necessarily have an order here, but we have The Terminal.
Yeah. Fuck, I hate The Terminal.
God, The Terminal. What would be my second? Oof.
Yeah, and Crystal Skull. I forgot to add Crystal Skull.
Yeah, I haven't seen BFG.
The BFG.
What do
you haven't seen 1941, have you?
I have not.
That's
I have
a bad
not.
movie. That's
yeah.
a bad movie.
Otherwise, I'm sure that would be in my top.
Yeah.
I think next I'd have to say Twilight Zone. It's not bad. It's just fine.
3 people died.
Yeah, it's
got their heads
more of a
cut off.
distaste. War of the Worlds.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to put The Post in here. It's actually
that's a good movie.
It's a good
I like
movie.
The Post.
Lincoln though. Lincoln's good. That's the thing.
Bridge of Spies. Yeah. Okay, so maybe you just keep it as 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know. Otherwise,
Crystal Skull?
I would put in. I don't hate Crystal Skull. That's the thing.
Okay.
Then again, I don't really hate any of this, right? I'm gonna do The Terminal, War of the Worlds. I'll do Crystal Skull, Ready Player One, and hell, I'll even chuck I'll chuck Hook in there.
Yeah. I remember watching Ready Player One in cinemas.
So do I.
How old was I? I was 17. I wanted to walk out. I want to run out of that movie. But I was with my sister, and we were on a holiday, so I couldn't leave her. I hate that movie. I have never watched it again. I don't even want to touch it. It is a cursed artifact.
I showed up to a friend's house, and he put on Ready Player One, and
was that friend Lucifer, the devil himself?
You would think so.
Hitler? You're friends with Hitler? You were friends with Hitler.
I plead the fifth.
The Fifth Reich? What the fuck? What are we doing, James?
The whole way through was just crashing on it. The whole way through, I'm like, what?
I can't.
Disgusting. It's a trash pile.
I don't even want to watch anything about Ready Player One.
Yeah.
In case that someone tells me something good about it and I start to like it, I don't want that to happen. I want to hate this movie. I think it's like this little egg of hate that sits there and absorbs all the pain from the world. And if this egg were to crack, I don't know what I'd do with myself. Where would I put all my pain?
Yeah. Sitting at the table, though, we're joined by AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes, the last Spielberg movie I watched leading up to this, which was great, but also not. Really, in a way, his Megalopolis. It is a really fucked up movie with a lot of great and crazy ideas. But we're not here to talk about AI. I think if we talk about AI, we'll be here for 20 years.
We're gonna be absorbed, yeah.
Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day. Honestly, I think because here's the thing. This is a long movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very beat for beat. Like there's.
Do you want to go for
I
beat
think
for
we can
beat?
go through it. I think we can
Okay,
go through it.
okay,
I think
let's do it, let's do it.
We can do it. If we just jump into it now, we can intercut.
Okay. Okay, great.
We already did beat by beat with Backrooms. We can't
why
quit
not?
now.
Why not?
Rhys. Can't quit now. This is a gorgeous looking movie. I just want to say.
I think I could do the beat by beat for this one, right?
Beat by beat. You can go for it.
So we start off with a wrestling match. I'm sure you don't know the two wrestlers.
I don't know.
They're kind of just mid-card wrestlers from AEW. I thought it was Andrade for a second, but that was not right. But yeah, we're watching a little wrestling match at WIN, which is a weird acronym that I was surprised isn't actually a wrestling promotion. WIN, you'd think would be one by now.
Anyway, we have some crazy POV wrestling shots.
Stuff,
There's some pretty fucking sick action to
I'm-
watch in IMAX.
I'm surprised that Spielberg knows what wrestling is.
His kids.
Maybe
He says in every podcast, I got my kids. They keep me current.
I got my kids, and they're telling me about this stuff called wrestling.
He said something really interesting. He was like, these new wave of filmmakers, he's like, they've got to remember every time you make a movie, it's like you're starting from scratch. You're going back to the beginning. And he's like, I'm worried that they don't understand that.
What does he mean by that?
What do you mean? Oh, so
can you elaborate?
I think he means in terms of getting a movie funded. Like I've heard that even in his later years, he struggled to get ideas off the ground.
Struggled to get Lincoln. I remember that was a
heard,
huge point of contention that Lincoln was like the last big film before the Netflix kind of takeover that you could fund through big Hollywood.
Because I think after a period when you're young, there's so much hype around you, but once that fades away, you've got to work even harder again to get your movies going.
Yeah, I mean, Spielberg, I don't think his movies have made money since Lincoln. West Side Story was during COVID.
Yeah, that was
The
not a
Fablemans
success.
was at the end of COVID, and even then, I don't think that did well. I don't think there was really anything. What was before that? BFG, I don't think did well.
But
Ready Player One did great.
Did really well.
But he directed that from an armchair.
Yeah.
Spielberg style, 200 miles away. The Post did fine. But really anyone could direct The Post.
The Post was right before. Oh, it was around COVID. Yeah.
No, that was 2017. So it was 2 years before.
The Post?
Yeah.
Was that earlier?
Yeah.
My God.
Bridge of Spies before that too, which did fine. I really like Bridge of Spies. That's a fun movie.
Mum likes that movie.
Yeah. Which is made for it. It's made
good.
for the
It's
mums and
good.
the dads. But Spielberg has. This is the longest break we've had. Spielberg, 4 years. The only one that's close is the gap between Schindler's List and The Lost World.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Like, of course, you need a break from directing Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year.
That's crazy.
He needed 4 years off, but this is a similar jump where Schindler's List was a huge weight on his shoulders to do. This was the similar case with The Fablemans. This is his life's work. The Fablemans was such a monumental film for him to basically just cut himself into pieces.
Trauma dump
For 2.5 hours.
And it's so effective.
It's so good. That movie is so good.
Oh, Seth Rogen. Fucking, oh my God.
He's really good. And so he needed a lot of time to come up with this. I've heard that he started writing it in 2023, did a 50-page treatment which he gave to Kep, to David Kep, who wrote this, who did 40 drafts apparently.
He said Spielberg wanted to get it right, like down to the detail.
But it sounded like Spielberg was lost. He made his everything he ever wanted to make, and now he was kind of lost a bit. But let's go back to the story. So we go outside to the back and we are introduced to one of my favorite characters in the movie,
Scanlan?
Colin
Yeah.
Firth, Scanlan, who I think for half the movie I was trying to remember if it was Colin Farrell or Colin Firth.
I keep thinking of Colin Farrell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Colin Firth. He's so good in this movie. He's great, great grey beard in this. It's so good.
It's great because he's not a particularly evil appearing person.
He's just
but
British.
He's just
British.
Yeah.
just a schmaltzy British fuck. And we get a nice little scene. Just kind of setting the scene for the relationship between Josh O'Connor and Eva Hawson, is it? Jane?
Eve Hewson. Yeah,
Eve Hewson,
Jane.
sorry,
Yeah.
Eve Hewson as Jane.
Yep.
And we get into it, and basically the whole movie can be boiled down to the one scene in the what would you call it? The monastery?
The monastery. Yeah. It's a great scene where they're like it's the dialogue is intercut where they're questioning each other about their pasts.
Yeah. But basically the whole movie can be boiled down to you've got to explain to me what's happening, and a character says at the right time, and then they give one line of dialogue that explains something, and then they go back to into character dynamics, which in a lot of cases I hate. It always pisses me off when movies do that. I'm like, just fucking tell me. But I didn't really care in this movie. I think the worst part of this movie is the script. What do you think?
When I first watched this, I thought it got pretty messy in the middle. You know, I thought it dragged a bit. Upon a rewatch, I don't know, I feel a little different. There's this real sense of urgency to the story and the pace. It does not let up from the first frame to the end. Well, the ending, it slows down, but from the first frame to that ending climactic moment, there's this real sense of urgency. And when I watched it last time, 2.5 hours felt like less time than the Backrooms, like an hour 30.
Yeah.
I was like, I looked at my pad, I was like, is that it? Because there's not much happening here. It's just a very beat for beat movie.
Classic James nose in the pad. So yeah, we set up that Jane was going to be a nun.
We're missing some stuff. We introduced to the MacGuffin, the device.
Yes, the mystical sphere or
rod. They call it the device. They're able to escape by holding it out and be like,
it's basically just a big bomb or whatever.
Basically.
They set up some good stuff, and then we get set up that Jane was going to be a nun, but she left before she took the vow. We have a nice little interaction with them. Set up Common Domingo, who probably for 2 hours of this movie, every time you see him, they're like setting up like an SNL stage behind him. I think it's got to be a reference to SNL because I've heard Spielberg loves SNL.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And that he basically goes to every single episode of SNL and watches them set up and dismantle props and sets on the day, because he finds it fascinating just watching them create like a restaurant or a home or a hospital or a church or a school like in 2 seconds flat, because they're run like a machine at SNL.
The whole SNL operation is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
they nut out the craziest shit in like a day.
So I think that's going to be a reference to that. Just Coleman Domingo standing and people constructing a house behind him. It's really cool.
He's just on his headset, like,
it's really cool.
Josh,
just talking.
You got to run.
Yeah,
you're the runner.
Just Coleman Domingo softly speaking to people and being like a nice guiding hand. It's really great, and really like sets up a sort of ticking clock of like, okay, time is going by and how far along we are by how much the set behind Common Domingo is being set up. If it is just straight, at the start, there's barely anything up.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, there's nothing, and then the more we go on, there's couches and there's wall paint and there's
Builds this
paper.
mystery. What is
Yeah,
happening?
you're like, what is happening? But it's also sort of a clock.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, as soon as this is done, that's kind of the third act of the movie kicks off.
Yeah. Because we set up that Coleman Domingo, along with 12 others, deserters from Wardex.
Yeah.
Wardex. And they are essentially our evil government agency. We're hiding the
secret
truth.
agency. All of this is done. This dialogue is given lightning quick.
It's so fast.
One after another, and you just digest it. And I think that's the great part of the script, is just you get all of that so quickly digested.
There's some adrenaline there. Yeah.
But you lose some stuff, and it gets a bit flabby at some points, but especially in this opening, and especially at the ending, the writing is so invisible that you kind of just barrel through some of the stupidest stuff. So then we move into the safe house, and we get just a great showcase of what they've been hiding, what Josh O'Connor has taken.
We are skipping over the setup for Margaret.
I don't care, James. I don't fucking. You keep interrupting me and be like, actually, we skipped over the scene where a guy picks up a pen. Actually, we skipped over a scene where a guy
Emily
picks his
Blunt's
nose.
a pretty big part of this movie.
Actually, we skipped over the scene where a guy orders his bagel.
Sure.
Yeah, Emily Blunt. Okay, is that right after that scene?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, because that comes next. Okay, Emily Blunt, she is weather presenter. She has her weather shimmy.
Yes,
weather shimmy. The boyfriend loves.
So we start in that shot, right? We start
in the shot. We pull out. Spielberg does so many of these shots in the movie where it will. You'll be wide, then the next
you pull into a shot.
You're in the fucking screen.
Yeah, you're in the screen. Then you pull out of the screen.
Yeah. But basically, she does not feel fulfilled. He's happy where they are, and
Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell,
the boyfriend in this.
The boyfriend, the
Bitsy.
Yeah, he's a musician. He's like, oh, I got 2 gigs down at the club.
What do they call it? Like himbo. He's kind of just a himbo. He's just a stupid hot guy.
He's just a stupid.
He's just a stupid cute hot guy.
Yeah.
And we get does that scene go all the way to the clicking?
Yes, that goes all the way to the clicking.
I guess I did forget.
In this part, we what's the bird that flies through the window with the
it's cardinal, which again is a reference to religion.
Yeah,
because religious cardinals.
Yeah. But later on, it's revealed that the aliens use animals as disguises.
Yes. What did you think of the alien CGI?
Oh,
it was bad.
That was one of my notes.
It was really bad.
Look, it's bad. At this point,
I didn't really care.
At this point, I expect that from Spielberg.
Yeah,
it's kind of charming in a way.
Well, honestly, I expect that from every CGI animal, and every time I see it, it takes me out of a movie. But then I think to myself, well, at least an animal wasn't like put in a cage and told to, and whipped and forced to act on screen. I'm like, oh, who cares? At least it wasn't a real animal.
Yeah, honestly, it
was just a CGI artist that got whipped and tortured.
I didn't mind the CGI. It was bad.
That's fine.
But come on.
Well, the CGI is good later on. That's what I don't care about the animals. I care about the CGI with the actual.
I don't care that
aliens.
That fucking fox.
Yeah,
looks so bad.
It's really bad.
But the alien stuff looks pretty good at the end.
But this scene where she starts speaking Russian was pretty good. This whole scene was I didn't really like. It was good. It was a lot of fat though. Kind of just a weird back and forth with Emily Blunt and Wyatt Russell.
I mean, the next scene too is just to set up her telepathic powers.
Yeah, but I liked the police.
Yeah.
I was really confused what was happening, but it was so beautiful. Now, I should set up how I watched this movie. So you and me watched this at IMAX, Queen Street.
Yeah.
Like 5 p.m. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. It was 5:50. And I was as sick as a dog. Leaving the movie, I was hobbling around like a Victorian child with tuberculosis. Like,
You look like a dog who's just come out of the hound,
yeah,
heavily abused.
I look like the turkey from your turkey farm, your
yeah.
little ratty turkey.
Oh my god, mangy.
I look
mangy Rhys.
I look like E.T. after the government got him. I was so sick. I was so incredibly sick. I'd been working all day. I'd been driving for like 4 hours. I didn't realize how sick I was until, like, you sit down and then you realize how sick you are. So I was in this weird state of being so empathetic with the movie.
Yeah.
I was crying like constantly during the movie and like shaking because of how much the movie was affecting me. It was really bizarre. And I said to James walking out of it that's the best way to watch this movie. The best way to watch this movie is when you're so sick and all of your walls just crumble down and you just take this on like a fucking psychic wave.
I know what you mean, though. Every
Mm.
time I'm sick and I put on a Spielberg, it kind of reminds me of this. It's kind of nostalgic.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and I was sick, I would watch Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's kind of comforting.
But I don't see it as like a childish thing. I think it is he just taps into such a guttural feeling, and not a childish feeling, but a feeling of being so empathetic. That's how he is as a director. And the biggest complaints I've heard about this movie is, I think, people coming into it with such big walls and coming into it wanting something and coming into it having like, oh, the script is bad and this is bad and this scene is silly. But if you come into it with sick and you're really down, you really, everything hits you so, it's like a tuning fork, cracking a glass. He's so good at hitting that weird wavelength. It reminds me of Close Encounters, the dinner scene where he's making the mashed potato like mountain, and then he just starts crying, and like everyone on the table just starts weeping, and you don't like watching it, and if you were to, like I just did, describe that scene, there's nothing actually emotionally resonant about it. But watching it, his filmmaking is so good that it's such an emotional gut punch. I don't know how he does it.
Everyone keeps saying the script this, and I wonder, I'm like, well, historically, when has anything Spielberg's made ever really gone well script-wise? Or something always goes wrong in a Spielberg production, but because his films have this layer of charm to them, he's able to add, he's got some power, this guy, because he's got that Spielberg charm. Even if it's the messiest script, it feels purposeful in a way.
Well, it showcases that a good director doesn't have anything to do with the script.
Yeah.
He can direct the shit out of the most dog water script.
Let's be honest, Jaws has it's kind of a bad script.
It's not the greatest script.
It's not the greatest script.
It's not as great as the movie. I hesitate to say that any of the scripts he's worked with are as good as his movies. And in the hands of anyone else, like Duel. Like, in the hands of anyone else, Duel sucks. Duel.
If I made Duel, it would not be anywhere as good as Spielberg.
Same as Jaws, you know, and same with this. Like, his scripts have never been the point. He is such a filmmaker, director.
Yeah. It's hard to put into words how he does it.
He's just such an emotional wave. And I think this, more than anything, maybe Fabelmans, but this, I think, is the perfect example of him being a director, a perfect director.
Yeah.
This whole scene, I don't even know how long it is. It feels long, but it just keeps going, of Emily Blunt connecting to people, and she is so good.
She really sells it.
I hope to God she wins the Oscar this year, 'cause she is so good in this movie.
It's great. She walks into the newsroom and she's like, "Who's that?" He's
A
Korean.
Korean, yeah.
Why is he so upset? He's Korean.
Yeah, have you not been watching the news?
But we do set up here that the world is basically on the brink of collapse.
Yeah.
The government set the
there's a nuclear standoff.
There's a nuclear standoff
with Korea.
With Korea.
I can't remember if it's north or south or.
I think it's North Korea.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
Yeah, but essentially throughout the film is like this ticking time bomb of what's going to trigger World War III because it's on the brink of collapse. The world. But she goes on television, right, and she stutters and starts.
Yeah, we get the scene from the trailer.
Yeah,
the.
Emily Blunt, is that you?
Which in the trailer was good. This is all one big one take from her in the studio. It's so good. It's
pretty impressive.
So good.
Which is nothing unusual from Spielberg.
Yeah,
some
his
of the greatest
hidden oneers. And then I'm checking, James. Do we go over to the safe house?
Yes.
I think we cut between the safe house and this. In between some stuff.
Yeah, there are some stuff that's intercut that even I congested down for time's
sake. So we go to the scene in the safe house with Josh O'Connor and Jane. And we get set up what basically the crux of the movie is, being that Josh O'Connor and his team with Coleman Domingo have stolen all of these alien files.
The archives.
From this former government agency that is now a private equity.
Wardex, yeah.
Wardex. And we set up the crux that should this be disclosed, should this be in the hands of people, would this destroy the world, a world that is on the brink?
Now, Jane argues that it's not a good idea to disclose the information because it would break people's faith in religion, God, and people would see the aliens as deities, essentially.
That stuff I love.
Yes,
I love that kind of shit in movies.
Yeah, there's some really great stuff here, like underneath about faith and religion.
Yeah,
it's really
Spielberg, a guy who has dealt with waning religion in different points of his life. I think the movie doesn't finish it off right.
It kind of leaves it at a point when Jane's on the phone to one of the sisters, and I think she says to Jane, "You haven't lost your faith in God, you just lost your faith in humans."
I like that, but I think it's too easy. Jane quotes a line from the Bible about humans being God's perfect creation, and then we get this really kitschy line of, well, it's God's perfect creation on Earth. And that basically just it's like, okay, who cares about this? Let's move on. It doesn't matter anymore. It's like, okay,
we kind of leave it behind at a point. Yeah,
it's a bit of
an idea that's introduced, but they don't know what to do with it, so they just kind of brush it under the rug a bit.
Yeah, they kind of just like, it's done.
It's done. Yeah,
But I do like the end sentiment of you didn't lose your faith in God, you lost your faith in humanity, which is a bit of a crux for this film.
Yeah.
But then we get the scene where Colin Firth kind of taps in.
Dives, as they call it.
This was so cool. It's
because you can feel the pain when he tries to dive on Daniel.
Yeah.
But he can't because you can't dive on experiences, we learn.
Yeah. There's so much lore and intricacy in this movie that just doesn't get explained. There is the scene where Colin Firth's right-hand man picks up the object and he just disappears.
Yeah.
He just turns into sand and then reappears 2 seconds later. We don't get an explanation. We don't get an explanation for a lot of the movie.
The device. So good. We get no explanation about the device, really.
But I think that's the point because they don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't know. And that's a part of why they want disclosure, because no one actually knows anything. It's so compartmentalization where no one really knows the full thing. And if Coleman Domingo says this later, that anytime someone would want to know more, Colin Firth would see that as like dangerous or an attack and turn it down. It's so good. It's so good. The script is so good, but also not that good. It's so hard. It's so hard to put. But we get, oh my god, one of the greatest car chases. We just start with Josh O'Connor. We'll get to that later. We get Josh O'Connor sneaking around these guys like it's The Last of Us. It really made me feel like it was a video game.
But just before that, he was in the field on the phone, and that's when we hear what the dialect meant. We learned that he can only interpret the dialect. Yeah. And then we get to the car chase. Yeah. But he fucking guy just smashes through the window. One of the coolest moments.
Yeah. This was so cool. It was so unbelievably cool. You can't put it into words.
There are some great action set pieces in this film. It's that really only Spielberg can pull off. They're kind of silly moments, but they're so incredible. Yeah.
It's so great. It really reminded me of the car chase at the end of One Battle, where it's just non-stop. You're just like, what, you're watching it and you know that this is one of the greatest chase scenes ever put to screen, and you're watching it in live time. So beautiful. And then we go to the scene in the hospital.
Yes. Yeah, Emily Blunt is in hospital. They did a scan, and they're like, well,
after she collapsed.
So, they're like, nothing's wrong with you. And her boyfriend is there, like, well, actually, she talks in her sleep, and she tells this like Hansel and Gretel story and sings in her sleep. And the doctor's like, well, actually, the FBI are here to talk to you. They're just chilling outside.
Yeah,
they're here to talk to you.
Yeah. And Emily Blunt just, I don't even know how to put into words this whole section. She's running on instinct, but instinct that isn't hers. And so she's kind of just feeling stuff out. We get the great scene after they've jumped out of like a window or something, or however they got out.
It's the greatest phone smash scene in a movie I've ever seen.
Where they tried to smash the phone like 3 times. It was so good. It was so funny.
Keep missing the phone. Back up. No. So great. So great.
That was really good.
But the whole time, her boyfriend is just kind of there driving. She's like, go this way. He's like, you're crazy. I think you're crazy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
She seems like she's mentally hit a block.
Yeah.
But it's kind of how it's painted in the movie that she is just going through like a mental
bit of a crisis.
Yeah, mental crisis.
Yeah, but she looks at one of the Warwick's agents and sees.
Yeah, she can read people.
Read his mind, and she's like, Daniel. What's his name?
I forget.
Whatever his last name is, and I've got to. She's like, I gotta find this guy. I don't know why or for what reason.
Yeah, she's got to find Josh O'Connor.
Yeah. At the hotel, so Daniel and Jane are hiding out at a hotel.
So Jane has basically been
tapped in by Colin,
and she's
Firth.
dangerous. Yeah, because Colin Firth can get to her at any point. She almost gets to stab Josh O'Connor in the car chase scene. And yeah, it's not explained to you, but Josh O'Connor runs around the room and rips up all this paper and hides all this paper, and it's not explained to you, and it's filmed so well that you get the gist of it, that he's kind of hiding all the references to where they are, and we get the exploration of the scene where he shows Jane the Emily Blunt TV alien speak, and that he hears it as math,
and only he we'll get into that later, what the
Yeah.
aliens did to him and Margaret as kids, but yeah, only he can interpret it.
But we just go so fast.
Yeah.
And
You don't really get a minute to think about it.
all these little
Yeah.
tiny things, and you don't get a second to think about anything before, then they smash into the house, and it just keeps going.
Keeps going.
Just keeps going.
They're asleep. Well, Daniel ties up Jane. She wants to be tied up.
Not in a kinky way.
Not in a kinky way. He's, I guess, kind of conveniently sleeping there with what, a pamphlet or something?
So it's the pad of paper with like a local restaurant where he wrote down the math that Emily Blunt was saying in the newscast. Really good.
But anyway,
Jane gets away. And Josh O'Connor sacrifices himself.
He keeps the files, but gives the device to Jane.
Yeah,
because I guess ultimately that is the like bigger threat than them having the archive.
I think it's just I felt that there was just a shortcut for the writers.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you give her all the data as well?
I wondered that too. It's
just a shortcut for the movie. And that is a big problem of the movie, that you can poke these holes if you're not engaging with the movie on an emotional basis. A lot of those problems are terrible, are really terrible, are really poorly thought out.
Because I thought surely he gave her the backpack.
Yeah.
And then there's the shot of them dumping the backpack. I'm like, what?
Don't understand it. Because then we cut to the torture scene, or what was going to be a torture scene of Josh O'Connor. It feels like we're going through this really quickly. It's just been talking about this for 20 minutes, and we're already almost halfway through the movie.
Almost done.
The movie just does not let up.
Does not
it
stop,
does
man.
not let up. But Emily Blunt arrives there. This was a great scene. Technically, doesn't make any sense. If you think about it with a CinemaSins brain,
it does not make any sense.
500 CinemaSins points go on this movie. But just watching it, especially as I was crying 24/7 watching this scene.
But essentially what Emily Blunt is doing is she's able to telepathically sink into their minds, I guess, and portray herself as like for example, his Scanlan's
wife.
Yeah, Scanlan's wife who's passed, and
that's so beautiful that everyone, even these hardened soldiers that are from militia group, every single one of them has a person and 3 words that they could say to him that would just break them. That everyone
crumble.
on the planet has a person and a string of words that would just cause them to freeze. That's very beautiful, and it's a
really beautiful scene.
Very powerful stuff. In any other movie, I think I've seen that in a couple other movies. Any other movie that's corny as shit, she just comes in there and she's, she says a few words and they all back off. But just the way it's shot,
just the way Spielberg does it, it's so
the way it's
powerful.
acted, it's so beautiful. Because I think it's also because it doesn't feel like the characters, when Emily Blunt interacts with them, they're not kind of frozen or anything, and they understand that they shouldn't be doing this. Colin Firth just backs off, and he shouldn't be. In any sense of the way, he understands what is happening, but it's such an emotional, not even just gut punch, but an emotional wave that it kind of just disables people. It's so cool. I've never thought about it like that.
It's a good way of describing it. It just disables them.
That they're stunned.
These are
not hurt, not in pain, that they're just stunned through feeling.
And his sidekick's what the fuck's going on?
Why
are we backing down?
And we get to probably the greatest little sequence. Oh my god. So Spielberg wanted to do this sequence in Duel. Do you know that?
Did he? I didn't know that.
The sequence is they're driving away, Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor in a car, and they're having a little talk, and they stop at the the train track where a train's coming by. It's in all the trailers, and the right-hand man to Colin Firth smashes into them and is basically trying to pancake them against it. It's so cool.
It's so tense, so
sort
tense.
of Spider-Man 3 Sandman style. In the trailer, it was fine. Like, I watched that, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Same with the car chase.
Yeah, well, in the trailer, the trailer does not do this movie justice.
But you watch it, and I was on the edge of my seat. I was squealing.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. And, like, your heart's racing.
You feel the rush of the air against you, and it's the
sound is going
coming
crazy.
the other way.
But yeah, he wanted to do this in Duel, which
that's
makes
crazy.
total sense. I could totally see this in a
that.
Duel. But that he's been thinking about this, and there's the classic scene from the Fablemans where he tries to recreate the shot from. What's the movie from the Fablemans that he sees?
Oh, the greatest show on earth.
Greatest show on earth.
Greatest show on earth.
With the train crash.
He loves trains.
That's Spielberg for you. He's always linking back to that one core idea. This was so cool.
Probably the greatest action set piece.
And it doesn't even end there. The greatest point of this is that that's not even the best part of that sequence. The best part of the sequence is after, where they're in the train car, and they're in a train car full of musical instruments that are all humming and tuning.
Yeah.
And Emily Blunt is just having a panic attack. And she's like screaming about her dad and about how she feels like she abandoned her dad through Parkinson's. And I don't even know, like, I was crying like a baby watching that, to go, especially in IMAX, to go through the whole car crash and to feel like they're so close to death, and then to be just ripped into this car, which is just vibrating with sound.
It's a very human moment. That's the great thing about the scene, is that if I'm in this situation, I'm just as fucking rattled, and I'm gonna fucking be mentally torn apart. It's a great bit of the great moment between her and Josh O'Connell, because they do actually share this connection, this deep connection that they kind of forgotten about. Well, they don't know yet.
Yeah, and it means that, like, just the small scene, I'm like, okay, they're friends, they're connected. I don't need any more scenes of them talking or sharing, history or any classic ideas of characters. This one scene just gets me. I'm like, okay, cool. They're friends. They're whatever. They're bonded. So good.
Such a good moment.
So good, man.
And honestly, because this movie, this scene is it really got me. I can't even remember how we transitioned to the next.
I don't. I think
they get picked up by the
fire truck.
By the fire truck. The whistleblowers.
Oh, we get the Fox scene.
The Fox, yes.
Yeah, we see the world like burning and everyone's going crazy. They get picked up and finally get to Common Domingo. We've only been talking about this for like 25 minutes.
And we're already
almost at the end.
That's crazy, man.
I
told you this was gonna fly by.
It's so
I told you.
Like, it's crazy how good this is. And we finally get to Common Domingo, but we get the scene where Common Domingo talks to Colin Firth. Right?
Yes, there is that scene. And we learn some stuff about the alien. It's called Vivo 17 or something like that. It's not necessarily important.
There's
but
not
it's
much in the scene. It's just more of a nice little scene between both of the characters.
Yeah.
I think the only scene between the two characters in the movie.
Because it's kind of set up that they have some past and they... they're two guys with two separate ideas of how they think... the information should be handled within higher power, essentially. And it's a good scene because there's two great actors talking at each other. That's just enough for me. it's I don't know what else to say about those two.
But the main villains are so smart in this, and they use this object so well in this movie. I just love the first scene where he uses the item and he's trying to get Jane to tell them where they are, where the safe house is, and they're like using all these little clues to pinpoint it, and it's so stressful, and you're on the edge of your seat. And that's the same with like all these other scenes with Colin Firth. Is just you can see the gears turning in people's brains, and see people react and go back and forth. It's so fun to have a villain that is active. An active villain is so much fun. I mean, for the most part, villains are always just like the thing to get to. They have the princess, they have the MacGuffin, but to have a villain that is chasing you and is smart
and imperfect.
Yeah,
he's so imperfect. He's just a imperfect human being, just like the rest of us.
So good. He's so good in this. I think maybe one of my favorite Spielberg villains. What would be another Spielberg villain? Indiana Jones. They're just kind of there. They're Nazis and whatever. Jaws, probably the great one. He doesn't really do a lot of villains though.
Well, because it's always characters within situations, like dire situations, like Jurassic Park.
I mean, even Schindler's List, like Ray Fiennes in that is a great villain, but is probably the closest to this, I guess. Though not as definitely more monstrous.
Yes, and so many other levels.
But I think this is like one of his first big villains. Maybe Tintin. Tintin was good. That was played by Daniel Craig. Did you know that? Daniel Craig played the Red Baron.
I've seen Tintin, but it's been a while. It's been a moment.
Tintin. I love Tintin. My mom's a big Tintin head. They revealed the new Lego Tintin.
What are the sets?
I saw she shot to the moon. she kind of went Looney Tunes, and wolf whistled, and her eyes popped out of her skull. It's the spaceship. I'm gonna me and my sister are buying it for Christmas.
It's nice. It's nice. I like that.
Yeah, she was really excited. So I'm a big Tintin person. I've watched Tintin since I was a little kid. I love his Tintin. Spielberg's Tintin's great. You a big fan of Spielberg's Tintin?
I'm not a big Tintin head, I'm not a big Tintin guy. It's a fun world. It's a cool universe. I'm just not that into it.
It's Spielberg's James Bond. Which every director wants James Bond. It's so bizarre. Every director and you love wants to make a James Bond or Pinocchio.
But not many.
Spielberg also did a Pinocchio.
I was going to say, not many filmmakers can actually say, I made a 007 film, but better.
This is, I mean, with Daniel Craig himself. This was really, I really wish we got to see
a Spielberg.
The New Zealand director.
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson's sequel.
Yes, it's a shame
Such a shame.
That ship was sunk. It's a shame. I don't think that's ever happening.
No.
But it's
great villain.
It's always hard when you've got a movie like this that's set within modern society, but you're incorporating fantastical elements and science, all this heavy science fiction shit. Spielberg strikes a really good balance here.
Well, that's another thing. Spielberg doesn't like doing modern movies.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at his list now. The Terminal, Close Encounters. That's really it. And I mean, kind of his only modern movies.
Ready Player One's more super futuristic.
That's sci-fi, Minority Report, and then Indiana Jones is all prequels. I guess Jurassic Park 2. I think that's the near future, or
in a way, but
he's never really made a movie about today.
No. There's always some element which sets it in a whole nother reality.
Even Disclosure
timeline.
Day is
Yeah.
not about really today, but
Not
it's the
necessarily.
closest. I
Yeah,
think
it's the closest. It would be the closest for sure. Yeah, like everything else is like either historical drama or it's like postmodern drama. Yeah, it's.
But we then get into the scene where they finally get to Common Domingo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the whole time Emily Blunt, when they get out of the fire engine, she just doesn't want to look at
God, it's
Common Domingo. He's like, "Why? Because you're the guy who knows everything."
I don't want to know everything yet.
And she's just so afraid. You can feel it. It's such a good
And
performance.
seeing that house and her going through the house,
Yeah.
it's such a point of connection. I think everyone can imagine going back to your family house where you grew up and it being the exact same as you were when you were like 10.
Yeah. I think I might cry if I did that. I would weep.
Oh, yeah.
Weep for days. It's deep. It's deeply personal.
Deep, yeah. So simple, but so deeply guttural for everyone.
Yeah.
And we just get into the facts of the case.
Yeah, the facts.
That Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt were taken as children and shown the ways of aliens.
Yeah, so basically the powers that are bestowed upon them are Margaret she's developed emotional telepathy. She can see a person's life story in their eyes, and Daniel is developed the ability to understand complex extraterrestrial mathematics and language.
Which there's a famous interview with Spielberg, I think only a couple years ago, where a journalist basically, they're talking about, I think they're doing like a reshowing of Close Encounters, and he brings up the fact that the aliens communicate with music and the humans communicate with math and science.
Yes.
And that his mother was a musician and his father was a mathematician and a I think an engineer.
Yeah.
Or a computer
engineer.
Man.
Yeah.
And you see Spielberg in real time realize that he did that.
Yes.
And same with this. That Emily Blunt is the heart, is the emotion, is the language of people, and then Josh O'Connor is the language of the universe and the language of the world. That's a little running through thing that's in basically every one of his movies.
It's like it's really beautiful stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this whole thing, like Spielberg went through this. They rebuilt his childhood home and he was there. And I've heard many cases that he struggled making Fabelmans.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? That's a hard movie to make for anyone.
Just finishing that movie for him would have been so emotionally exhausting. I'm not surprised he needed a gap.
For a guy in his 70s, I think maybe 80s at that time, maybe 70s. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And so basically that's what Emily Blunt is going through in this movie. It's so beautiful.
It's
so we get the scene where Emily Blunt, as a little child, is taken away Hansel and Gretel style to the alien house. It's a pretty effective scene. My wonder is, okay, we use these aliens to lure her in, and the scene of her beforehand kind of really going against wanting to live through that again, and the trauma, and it being at Hansel and Gretel house, and the imagery of holding this 10-year-old's face with the alien hands,
claws,
really disturbing, and it puts in a good question of what do the aliens like?
What do they want?
Yeah, but also what they represent. Because in this, because it's trauma and the way it's spelt, it kind of feels like it's rape, like a molestation, like they were probed in a way. But besides this, the aliens are, painted as kind of just beings. We don't actually know what they want, which It's interesting,
It's
eh?
part of the mystery, and it's kind of what's so intriguing. This is a really
They could be dangerous.
yeah, they could be. They don't appear to be,
Mm,
but we don't know much about them.
yeah.
It's like even towards the end of the movie, you're still left with that moment where it's like, well, what's next?
Well, it's not about the aliens. It's
Hmm.
about us and our relationship to the greater world.
It's pretty unsettling
It's
scene though.
very unsettling.
It's in fact
And
kind
the
of
look of it,
terrifying.
the CGI-ness of the house, it looks like a painter, which is pretty reviled. I forget his name.
It very much reminds me, with all the bloomed highlights and everything, of the look of AI. It very,
Yes.
very much reminds me of that
Yes.
movie. But yeah, Josh O'Connell's like, no, don't go with the aliens. He's like screaming
Josh
out.
O'Connor.
Connor, and
Keep saying O'Connell.
he's like screaming out, and Common Domingo's like, just settle, man.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really a really great scene. What comes after that?
Well, Colin Firth busts in.
Yes.
To their hideout in the warehouse, and they have to hide. Emily Blunt uses the object to hide them, and a great Spielberg slapstick scene after
Yes.
a really like emotional scene of Emily Blunt going through her emotions and her trauma, of just these goons just getting slapped around by invisible things. They
run up against the door.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like running face first, full speed into a truck.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's funny.
It's so funny.
And we get a little chase scene, and it lasts like 2 seconds, just like the truck driving away, and everyone holding their breath. It's just so good, but it's just in any other Spielberg movie that scene would be 10 minutes, but in this every scene
don't waste
is a big
time.
I think
Yeah.
because Spielberg hasn't done a big movie like this since
Like Ready Player One, really.
yeah, but he doesn't really do that because that's all CGI bullshit in that movie. He hasn't really had to do these fun tricks. Munich? Not Munich.
No.
Minority Report.
Yeah.
I think maybe Minority Report was the last like big action adventure he did. Crystal Skull, the last good adventure.
Yeah,
What's the last good? I think no, Tintin.
Tintin, but again, it's all CG.
Yeah,
we're talking
I think
live
it
action here.
Would be Munich. Would be the last. Why do I keep saying Munich?
There's nothing fun about
Nothing fun about Munich.
Nothing fun about Munich, mate.
I think it would be Minority Report, the last like fun, at least kind of fun action adventure film that he did well. So we haven't really seen Spielberg do this in a long time. Every other version has been like a CGI mess, like with Ready Player One or Crystal Skull, where it's just like I don't even know what I'm looking at. This is great. This is great. You can really feel that he's been like charging up,
holding back. He's
holding back for the past decade.
He's jumping with joy when he gets to direct this kind of
amazing.
Stuff. Yeah.
And then we get to the ending.
That's the thing. We're at the ending already.
It just, in a good way and a bad way. It's sort of like Backrooms, where it just kind of happens. The ending is just here.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Clark's assistants die, it's the ending. The ending like that. The same with Disclosure Day. As soon as they meet up with Coleman Domingo and they go through the memory stuff, bang, it's the ending.
Yeah.
We're already at the ending, and they get back to the studio, and they're getting everything loaded up on the little data sticks, which I think they shot. I don't know if it is the exact same one. It is a what do you call it? What are they? I had it written down. The switching room. What do they call it? The control hub,
control room,
directing room.
Yeah.
They did that in NBC Studios at 30 Rock.
Yep.
Don't know if it's the one that they use for SNL, but it's in 30 Rock itself.
Just that, yeah.
So another little SNL reference
Yep.
there. And yeah, it's just such a blitz ending.
Scanlan destroys the power, then the backup power, and Jane runs in with the device.
It's so quick.
Yeah.
We just rush it, and there's a lot of script problems in this, and a lot of why they do this, but it's so
They
quick.
just breeze over it,
and they know that they need to get to the footage. And I was sitting there, I'm like, the problem that people come up with is, why would New York switch to this feed when it's about to be nuclear war? Why would they take this on? But they do it so quickly, and the whole movie has been an emotional catharsis of people connecting to this footage and to these people in such a weird way that they give over their trust. So it didn't hit me much.
I buy it. It happens, and you just have to accept that this is what's happening. It's kind of like Scanlan just backing down. You just have to
when at the end he
accept
just backs up, and it's like, that's fine.
His henchmen just leave the building. It's like, that's
and
what's happening.
Jane is able to run through and give him Emily Blunt the device. How it's like there's a lot of CinemaSins dings in there, but if you're on the ride, this will not derail you, because they know that any second further is wasted. And we get to the disclosure.
Yes, the transmission has successfully reached the entire planet, essentially. And
we don't see any other countries. We just see America.
Yeah, just America.
The only country that matters.
Yeah, we can assume it's the rest of the world, and they're showing all the footage.
Yeah, we
of
didn't see any
alien
Brits,
encounters.
Brits with their teas, and Indians posing with their naan bread, and
Russians with their
Brazilians stopping playing soccer, and Russians with their big fluffy hats, and Australians watching with their giant spiders. I always love that. Spielberg did that a couple times. I think in Close Encounters he did that. There's a couple cuts to different countries, and it's just like the most generic.
Let's not do that.
It's not like racist. It's just fun. It's just fun. It's like, hey, this is a different country. Different country. They like burgers, and they like cheese, and they like this thing. It's fun, like postcard racism, right? It's the stuff that you'd get on the postcard when you're in Hawaii.
That makes sense.
It's still like actively racist, but it's fun. But no, we didn't get
gets the
any
point
of that.
across. We did not, because America only matters. America
is the only thing that matters.
The revelation shocks the globe. Well, America.
What did you think about the footage itself? Because the original footage that they show. So Spielberg was really pushed to make this movie because of the release of the Navy and the Air Force footage.
Yes.
Of the kind of just it's just whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a little fucking tic tac that's flying, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's a fucking tic-tac."
I think Corridor Digital broke it down, and we're like,
I don't care.
This is how you
don't care. Maybe it's an illusion.
Yeah.
Are you an alien person? Are you a man in a mask, Scooby-Doo style? What are you an alien person?
I'm not an alien believer, but I think extraterrestrial life is fucking cool. I want it to exist, but I know.
But you're not like a Joe Rogan alien guy.
No, are you? You're not.
Really. I don't give a shit about aliens.
Yeah. I say alien. You're like, but Catherine Bigelow.
I've had the same philosophy about aliens and God since I was like 12, which probably one of the only things that I've held on to about my opinions on religion and the greater world as a 12-year-old is I don't care if God exists as long as he stays out of my way. which when I was
stay out of my way, Buster.
Which when I was like 12 or 13, I actually meant very earnestly, like, yeah, I don't care as long as he like leaves me be. But the way I phrase it is especially as like an autistic person, is very like funny to people. I still believe in that. I don't really care. As long as
it doesn't affect.
Look,
I'm
the same with aliens. I don't care. Honestly, if aliens I listened to the Big Picture episode on this.
Yeah.
And is it Sean?
Yeah, Sean.
Sean Fantasy.
Sean Fantasy.
He goes on and on about how he would like change their podcast into an alien podcast and be all about aliens. And I think the people who are so into aliens like that, what do they fucking talk about with aliens? Because like the Joe Rogans of the world that are so into aliens, they're not into like the actual fascinating stuff about aliens, like, ooh, you know, the linguistic differences. Actually, they don't have a word for the color orange. You know, in their society, their money is actually...
They're not into that bullshit. No.
You know, they're not actually into the difference, because if they were, they wouldn't be racist.
They just want it to exist so badly.
But I don't understand why, because if aliens actually existed, the really fascinating stuff is the differences between cultures, which for a lot of these people like Joe Rogan, they're just racist.
Yeah.
They like Joe Rogan doesn't care about the differences between him and a person who grew up in Bali or a person who grew up in India. Like, and so if you can't care about the difference between you and say someone who grew up in ancient Greece, why would you care about the differences between you and an alien? Because that's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
You're growing up in a different place with a different culture and different ideas. That's the fascinating stuff. But anyone who's super into aliens, what do you actually care about? It's not their culture. Because again, most of these people are racist. They don't care about culture.
These people are the worst. These people are the worst, and
I hate it. I think it's so stupid.
Yeah. No.
Why? I don't know. I would love to meet a super alien person and be like, what do you actually care about with aliens? Because the thing is, aliens, you don't actually know what they're going to be. You have no idea. You have literally zero idea what an alien would be.
There's this fantastical idea that you have and want to believe in, but there's nothing there that's going to even closely resemble what you expect.
Yeah, the James Cameron documentary, Aliens of the Deep.
Yes.
That's probably the only part of aliens that I'm fascinated about, is that you go underwater and there are just like it looks like just a illuminated sheet, like a ghost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's so beautiful. And I'm like, that's an alien. And that's the whole point of the documentary, is that these could be aliens. They are alien to us. They have we have no perception of how they live.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what aliens would be.
That's interesting. That's fascinating.
Yeah, but what is Joe Rogan like? What do they actually like about it?
I don't know. I don't need Joe Rogan over here telling me, well, the footage of the little blip across the screen, that was a UFO. That was a UFO.
I don't understand aliens, man. I just do not give a shit. I don't understand what they like about it.
There was this guy in the 80s, and he claimed he had aliens landed in his backyard, and he attacked them with a katana.
Man, what a cool guy! What a rad man! But Spielberg loves aliens. He loves aliens.
He does.
What about it? I just don't understand what he actually likes about aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if aliens, there is a thought processing go through of use and debate a lot. How would someone convince you? Because if you're going into a debate, or you're trying to understand people, or you're trying to make people understand, you have to put your morals on the same framework that they can change.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's the idea of what would get you to believe in God. You're trying to get people who believe in God to not believe in God. So what would convince you the opposite? And if there's nothing, then that's not a conversation you can even start, right? Because you're not starting on the same basis. So what would it take for you to be convinced that there are aliens on Earth right now?
I need to see a physical fucking alien.
You say that,
but
does that mean physically, as in you will not believe in aliens until an alien is right in front of you? Or does footage count?
I don't count footage.
So in this
Well,
disclosure day, would you believe?
see,
That's the big question,
that's
eh?
the
'Cause
question.
of course,
Yes,
every
yes.
person in the world cannot look at an alien face to face. That would be literally
Yes.
impossible. So footage has to be it. But I think Spielberg does it well by being like, there is so much footage.
Yes.
It is not one time period. It is not one place. It is all over America throughout hundreds of years, and different spaceships and different aliens, and it's so much,
So overwhelming.
Yeah. That anyone would be like, well, this is impossible to fake this much. Even if you cross out 50% of these, you still have what they had, like 7 terabyte data sticks of these things.
Wish I had their upload speed.
Yeah, they're fucking.
I'm fucking jealous, mate.
But that was really cool. That was a question I had: is how would I, in this world, why would I believe that aliens exist? And I think he gets it across by just being like, so much footage, and the footage being really impactful. In any other movie, I wouldn't care, but the footage of the grey aliens is just
been experimented.
And dead corpses and wandering around.
It's kind of like showing almost like Holocaust footage.
Of their burnt bodies.
Yeah, their burnt bodies. It's almost that effective.
Yeah.
It's real. It really gets you.
I love that they're just grey aliens.
Yeah,
so
I know.
good.
I was gonna say that
that's so good.
They're kind of just like stereotypical aliens.
That's so good.
And
I love it.
Believe it. Yeah.
There's the famous story of Close Encounters that Spielberg didn't know what the aliens were going to look like.
Yes.
And so that's why if you watch Close Encounters, every shot of the spaceship, there's a different alien that comes out because they just kept trying things. And by the end, he's like, who fucking cares? There's 7 different aliens on there. So there isn't like one alien in Close Encounters. There's like 50.
Yeah, well,
it's really bizarre when you watch it.
But who the fuck is to define what an alien?
Yeah, but
you
in any, I don't think there's any other movie where it's humans encounter aliens for the first time, but it's 7 different aliens, and no one's like, what's that one and what's that one and what like it's.
But I watch Close Encounters and I'm like, I just take it. I'm like, yeah, sure.
I know. I was confused when I watched. I'm like, wait a minute, why is there like 3 different kinds of aliens and they're all just wandering? Oh my god, it's great. I think they had the little grey aliens and they were like little kids in costumes.
Yeah,
that's so cute.
But yes, the Hugo and his team wheel out a big old alien.
Yes, and throughout all of this, we get a woman. I've got her name down. Courtney Grace, the news anchor, who's like the New York or LA news anchor that is showing it all. She's so good.
She's so convincing.
She is a real
I was gonna
news
say
anchor.
she sells it, man.
But she's so like that takes a different level. It's so incredible. I think a lot of 9/11 news anchors had to do this similar action of basically coach and commentate the world through a change. That's a huge thing, and that's very powerful stuff, and she just fucking knocks it out of the park.
You can feel the weight of it setting in, like the information setting in as she is commentating.
If there was 9/11 2, I would want Courtney Grace to commentate it. I want her on speed dial, baby.
It's a crazy statement to make. But no, she is phenomenal.
She's really good.
If there's ever like a supporting actor like Oscar to give out, that's where I want it, man. It's crazy.
And then we see a big alien. That's the thing, is that even if you were like, I don't know if this would convince me, then they just bring out a fucking alien, a big fucking alien.
Wheel this fucker out.
Oh my god!
And it's so in that moment, the whole cinema goes quiet.
That was crazy.
And not just because I was the only one in the cinema when I watched it the second time.
But it was crazy when we watched it in IMAX.
Yeah.
That was like Thursday. It was opening night, and it was a decent audience.
Yeah.
And they were chatting. Some people were talking behind us, and as soon as the footage of the alien started showing, you could hear a
Yep.
pin drop.
Yep.
It was
Mhm.
silent.
It was.
And it was, I guess it was so beautiful. Just this whole audience just being sucked in.
That's how you know it's good filmmaking, when even the
Yeah.
assholes in the audience just go dead quiet.
But if you describe it, it just sounds like a movie.
Right?
It just
Right?
sounds like a movie.
Yeah, they wheel the alien out. Or they whisper.
It's they.
They whisper something into.
Come on, James.
Don't cancel me, guys. Don't cancel me.
He watched Scary Movie 6.
Look.
And now he hates all the woke liberals.
The woke liberals.
And their pronouns.
They had to cut out some Melania Trump slander from the news anchor's monologue. Anyway,
But this is the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They kind of dap up the alien. Dap up, and then they sit, and they look at the audience, and they say, listen. What do you think this movie's about? What do you think the meaning of the movie is? Because there's a couple readings you can give to it.
It's look, there's many readings. One of which is, I mean, the ending line is kind of them saying to us to be aware. To be aware of information.
Keep your eyes on the skies.
I was going to say it's basically a better way of ending The Thing from Another World or The Fog, right? I mean, yeah, I mean the film itself, right? It's got this message about the whole freedom of speech thing,
Yeah.
You can these whistleblowers are people coming out of higher power governments.
You can read it as an allegory for like the Epstein
files, yeah,
especially with like the trauma of these people that are now like Emily Blunt's character. And you can read it as something attuned to like the coups that the US military did that later get revealed, or
I forget what it was. I forget, it was this big thing where someone who worked for the US government like came out and just dropped a bombshell of just evidence of them tapping into Snowden, that's it.
With the Patriot Act, I think it's called the Patriot Act. Yeah. It could be an allegory for there's different allegories.
So many things to look into here,
I think Spielberg is doing this specifically as Aliens. He's a literal filmmaker. I don't think he puts a lot of allegories into it. He does, but they're more subconscious. I don't think he came into it with that.
When
you can read it
as an allegory for like the Epstein files and all that.
Yeah, or even the war in Gaza.
Yes.
Though a bit less so because of Spielberg's position in that. But the big problem people have with this movie is that it is a film about a very boomerish take. A take that he has given a couple times. I remember the entire reason he wanted to do Ready Player One, the worst movie ever made, is the ending. He said this on the Rewatchables podcast for 2001, that the only reason he wanted to make Ready Player One was for the ending where they turn off the virtual world for like 2 days. That's such a boomer thing to say, right? It's a terrible ending. It's a terrible ending to be like, go touch grass on Thursday.
Go kick a ball.
Go outside on the weekend. Such a boomerish take. But that's and people have a problem with that because you can read this movie as, well, if we tell people, if we show people the real impacts of these things and the real facts, and we trust people, the people will come together and they will take down regimes, and they will, we will come together and sing Kumbaya, and the world will be at peace if everyone just knew. There was an idea back before the internet, that if everyone had access to the same amount of information, we'd all be better for it. We'd all be, none of us would be Republicans or anything. But then the overwhelming of information that the internet brought kind of put a stop to that. And I understand that we live in such a cataclysmic time, as the Disclosure Day does, that we feel like we're on the edge of destruction 24/7, that any second could be a Cuban Missile Crisis, and that if we all just sang Kumbaya and understood each other, we'd all be better. But I don't, and I thought about that, and I agreed with it to an extent, that it is a very boomerish thing. But I think what the movie is trying to, what it gave me at least, was this idea of empathy. Spielberg has always been a director about empathy and about connecting to people on an emotional state, not just through his filmmaking, but each story. All of his films are just about people trying to do the best thing they can, and the best way to do so is by listening. I'm just going through his movies. I mean, Ready Player One, that movie is all about like listening to people who have gone through the struggles. The creator of Ready Player One is basically like, listen to how I failed and you will make your life better. I mean, Catch Me If You Can, like that's all about just trying to stop and listen instead of trying to constantly grab at something. Same as Jurassic Park. It's and Minority Report, War
of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Yes.
That's the whole movie
It's
is
the
just
whole
about
point.
listening to each other. Same with AI, and I think all of his movies, Hook too. You could point at all of his films, even especially the Fablemans, being like, you got to stop and listen to people, not their literal words, but their intentions and where those intentions come from. And it's really hard today to look at the travesties people enact and to give time to bad people, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we're so empathetic.
We are so empathetic, but in some ways you give them too much of a platform.
But, well, we're so empathetic to people that need that empathy, the people that are discriminated, and so much of that causes us to see the ones enacting it as absolute villains. And in many ways they are, but that's not how you fix a lot of those problems. And that's what I think this movie is about, is like on the individual level, and as people, it's, you need to stop and you need to listen to everyone. If you just stopped and listened to one person, you only hear that one side, and it's really hard to try to listen to bad people, and listen to who they were before they were bad people, because why would you want to? And I think it's a very beautiful thing, and in a way it's still boomerish,
but
that's who he is.
It's done so beautifully.
He's a man of the people, and he wants people to be happy.
It's kind of an element to science fiction. It's one of those genres where you can amass a huge audience to sit down in the theaters and deliver a message like this. Whether or not it goes over the heads of certain people is another thing, but it's such a great genre since like the start of like the 50s, 40s, 60s, when science fiction was so heavily used back then to tell to get the message across about the threat of atomic warfare and communism, for example. It's one of those genres where you can amass such a huge audience to sit down at the theater and and deliver such powerful messages. And that's why what I love about the science fiction genre.
And a lot of those had the idea of if there only was a uniting force. Watchmen is a very famous example of this, of if we all had a common enemy, we could unite. And COVID proved that that does not work.
Yes.
That in many ways there isn't a uniting force that will bring us together. And you can read Disclosure Day as that, as the Disclosure Day being a 9/11 or a COVID, a situation that everyone looks at and sees as a point to come together. But I think it says that, because it doesn't show that it worked, right? We don't see the next day.
The aftermath.
We don't see it. And in many of these cases, like 9/11 and COVID, we kind of tear each other's throats out.
Kind of tipped the scale and ended up almost with a worse outcome.
With a worse outcome.
It's so interesting, yeah.
But it ends with, listen, that maybe this tool of looking at each other and focusing on one point won't fix us, but will be a position where we can connect. That's really that's incredible.
I think that's
really hard and a really minute thing to find in there. It's so easy to read this as, well, if we had alien, we could kumbaya, but that's not how I read it. I read it
more on the deeper human connection element of it all.
Yeah, I think it's so powerful that it ends before anything else.
Yes,
that Disclosure Day is the day, and that after that is up to us. And what we do with that day, do we use it to rip each other's throats out again?
Yes.
Really, a really tough bit of meat
tough ending
to chug through, and especially these days. And I totally understand people that read this and go, "No, there's no way we can't."
Yeah. For me, it's this ending which makes all of this so plausible. If this film ended with the Disclosure Day and then we kept going, I think that would really, really hurt it for me.
But he leaves it to us.
Yeah, he leaves it to us, and that's so powerful to be able to end a film like that. And honestly, there's going to never be a sequel, and thank God there never will be, because we don't need one. We don't need one. The ending message is that powerful.
Yeah, it's up to us. We have the information now. It's up to us to decide what we do with it. Though you can see, like, the government is totally removed from this movie as a weird kind of sticking point. That,
I mean, robotics is like a private entity now, right?
Yeah. And so the government and their involvement in this movie is non-existent, which is a weird thing, but a weird sticking point. That's just so much. There would be so much to chug through in this movie.
I find myself wanting to know more about the not so much the like the science behind it, how the deeper lore behind everything. This universe is so fascinating to me, and it's kind of like this other worlds where I just want to know more, but he's not going to give me more. I got to figure this out for myself, and that's why I love Spielberg's films. He makes you think.
This is very similar to Trap.
Yeah.
People hated Trap. We hated Trap when we first got out of it.
But the more it sits,
I love Trap. It's so fun.
I looked at the 4K the other day. I was like,
such a
I could buy this.
Yeah.
This is
very close to Trap.
Yeah.
Where it's like, the filmmaking's so good, but the actual story is kind of dumb.
Yeah. I mean, look, I get that people come out of this and go, it was a mess. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Boomer says Boomer things.
Yes. I'm like, but the Spielberg touch.
I think it's a reductive take. Even if you fully cross out the script and the metaphors and see it as just a, moderate liberal who thinks we can sing Kumbaya, and you take all of that out, just the filmmaking. If you watch this without sound, this is still an 8 out of 10 movie.
Yeah. I think even talking about it's got me more excited to go back to it.
Yeah.
I've already seen it twice. I could watch this again.
Yeah. Give it 10 years, it'll settle, just as Shyamalan and Spielberg's films have in the past. They're kind of rocky when they come up, but then later on they kind of settle. I think this will probably be in my top 10.
I think so.
I don't know if it'll be in my top 5. Again, I watched it on the edge of death. I was like the alien at the end of this movie. I was kind of shambling around. But this was great. This was incredible to see.
I had an excellent
in person.
time. And I mean, as I said, the first time I watched it, I did feel it dragging a bit in the middle. Second time, it just flew by.
Yeah.
And I was fucking tired, man, from work, but it just flew by. I was shocked. I was shocked. It's gonna be in my top 5 this year.
It is right now, but we got a lot of movies left. We got a lot of movies left.
Yes, we do. How much has this made?
This has made 96 million.
96.
Let me see. 98 million worldwide. The budget is 115, so I think this will just break even.
Just break even.
Though Toy Story's coming out, so that will kind of eat its lunch.
Yes.
Though it is Father's Day in America, so this is a big Father's
that
movie.
could help it,
Big Dad movie. And I don't
know if this is gonna stick for.
I think this will probably rest at about 180 million.
Yeah. I'm gonna say about 150.
150.
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing pretty decent. This has been a big movie. People have been talking about it. A lot of people have been talking about it, which is very surprising.
There's been hype for three years now since that first.
Well, for nerds like us.
Yeah.
I don't think the real world actually cared.
When that
When it was
first
called The
teaser
Dish.
image. Yeah, the dish. That's
God,
right.
The
I
Dish.
remember that.
A fucking dumb name.
That's
So,
right.
Disclosure Day is not a great name either. Doesn't really get me engaged.
Yeah. I don't know what would for this movie though. And I think Disclosure
I think
Day
just
works.
Spielberg.
Spielberg. His name alone sells the movie.
Basically.
Yeah. The score is beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, John
score.
Williams, I think, came out of retirement for the score. He
and as always, he
Spielberg
fucking
went to
nailed
him,
it.
and Williams suggested 5 other people, and he knocked it out of the park. It was incredible.
Every time this movie finishes at work, most of the audience, they just sit and watch the credits and listen to the music. Then they all leave. It's fucking annoying. But when I walk in there to clean and it's still playing, I'm like, oh,
That's a great
this is
score.
so beautiful.
It's a really good
So
score.
beautiful. What else is there left to say? I think we're exhausted.
Yeah. I do have a correction. I weirdly said some other title for the song for the Backrooms.
Yes. Yeah.
It was actually called Ulterior Motives.
Fucking dare
I don't
you.
know what the hell the other one was I was saying. But yeah, so this has been
The Backrooms
Oh my
and
God.
Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Room and the Odyssey. We got here at 11. It is 5:15.
Rhys, I've been here since like 10 p.m. last night.
You've been here since 2024.
I'm going crazy in this room.
In this Backrooms we've got ourselves in.
Next week we have
The final silent spectacular.
They don't know what it is yet, so
They
we
don't
can't
know.
spoil
They
it.
don't know. We just recorded the intro for that.
Yes. And then after that, we'll be moving on to another series.
Well, we won't, James. We will have our first video episode.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Do we want to say what the video episode is?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
The first video episode of season 2 will be a physical media episode where we go through our favorite physical media. Next episode we're going to go through a bunch of physical media, but you will get to see our beautiful faces.
Lucky you.
Yes, lucky you.
Anyway,
this has been tonight's first feature. We have been the second boys. This has been the second studio. And remember, listen.